Okay. Let me get set up. Looks like we don't have doll inside Roll20 yet. Or never mind, my thing just loaded. There we go.
Nub.
Hey.
What is this red? What is this red on the map? That is new.
Your
Controlled
blood.
by Ethereum.
Updates. There we go. Oh shit! I just closed it. There it is. Oh, cool. I like these. I like this thing. We now have Ethereum controlled roads.
Yes.
Okay, so
Venting some anger on an unsuspecting tree.
no venting anger on trees. The trees are good. Venting anger.
Venting anger on a suspecting and forewarned tree.
Yes, I would tell the tree in advance that I'm going to beat the shit out of it.
I'm sorry, but you're on the wrong end of this day.
Yes.
You
Well-
chose the wrong place to grow.
I believe I have some people to heal.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be it'd be good.
When last we left off, I believe Savrik and Xantham had both been cut down. Depur and I think Katos were unconscious.
Kados was fine, I think. Oh no, Kados was down. Kados, I was thinking Ike. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the two
I think all three of them.
Reisenjäger that fell.
Get your shit together.
I died. I went down.
Get it
I'm
together.
traumatized. Get
Put
your
it in the
shit.
backpack.
Get it all together in one place.
Yeah. Get it together.
Put that shit in a backpack. Maybe take it to like a shit store or something. Just get your shit together.
There's a lot of blood around here now.
I like how it's blood now, and before it was flowers.
A lot of bloody flowers.
Now it's blood.
I thought everybody like let a trail of blood. That dude at least is bleeding out quite heavily.
So I put you guys as tokens here, the three of you that are conscious.
Conscious. Oh dear.
At this point, you guys made your way
4
back
of us.
north to the camp, to the rendezvous, essentially, is what I'm going to say happened. They're hesitant to move Xantham and Savrik, especially Xantham, because she's not in great shape. They don't want to move her much farther, so they're tending to her wounds in the tent.
So is this that night?
No, because the rendezvous is, as I recall, is quite a bit north of
Okay.
where
We
the
were like 2
battle
miles
took
north.
place. So this would
We
be like,
also had a day of a night of rest at least, because I woke up when I was helping attend people's wounds when Kirik woke up from his dream,
Yeah.
which means that everyone was at least resting.
Oh, was I bandaged last night? Probably not. So just, if we had a full night's rest,
well,
we were up like what?
essentially what I'm saying is that we fast forward until we get to the rendezvous. So you had that first night after the battle, and we can roleplay that out if you'd like. But essentially, you guys would have been on a caravan the whole evening, traveling north. Sort of how I envisioned it going, anyway. I didn't assume that you would want to be terribly close to where that all took place.
So I'm currently looking up. I believe I get bonus spells per day for my having like a certain modifier that I haven't really accounted for yet.
Okay.
Because I'm just trying to make sure that I have the right number of spells. Because I'm just gonna be casting a fuck ton of Cure Light Wounds today.
Yeah, probably. So I guess we can kind of roleplay the night before you guys get to the rendezvous. Then.
That will give me some time to look at this. I appreciate that.
So you guys would have just finished combat, and you would have been hereabouts. And the rendezvous is right there where Travis just marked in orange. So the first night after battle, things have finally quieted down from the clanging and smashing that was the battle earlier, and the screams of people falling into pits, of course,
Also important.
and the screams of people's flesh burning.
Very enjoyable.
So now it's sort of like an eerie silence. There's not even like any owls or nighttime creatures. No wolves howling. Nothing. Just really, really quiet. There's kind of a somber feeling amongst everyone because you succeeded in breaking the siege, but somebody inside of OnStar is likely to have allowed Aetherian troops to enter the gates.
As far as we know.
That is the consensus among the troops. As far as people like talking and rumors, that is the current belief.
Do I
Xanthan-
hear?
Yo, I'm dead.
Yeah,
Unconscious.
Are we conscious or are we unconscious still?
I would say
guess-
Xanthan is unconscious, and probably so are you, because you both almost
Okay.
died.
All right.
Yay! Teamwork.
Yay, plus 64 attack. So do I hear any rumors of like who let them in? Who could
Sure.
have let them in?
You think that, well, you don't think, but you hear some of the guards talking amongst themselves, well, not guards, but some of the soldiers talking amongst themselves that conspirators must have been within the gates, and mostly talking about how the culture of OnStar already has worshippers in the chapel that worship Iomedae, and that it must have been one of them that got to the gates, and the guards weren't able to stop them because there weren't many guards left.
I'm just writing things down here, so.
Kind of stumbled my way through that. I apologize.
Okay, so we might think, but we don't know if we heard the guards thinking or maybe saying possibly something about Iomedae and the guards.
Do I need to re-explain it, or are you being
Joking.
facetious? Okay.
I'm being facetious. I'm being a dickhead.
Yeah, that's not even like trying
Yeah.
to be nice.
No, that was. Well, I thought it was funnier. It was more for the humor than to be mean.
It was pretty
But
funny.
that's how most of the mean things I say are intended to be. Okay, so I think it looks like from our perspective, what we need to do is figure out what our next step here is, and I will share with my companions that we had made a deal with the the monster hunters, that we would give them some information about the alchemist that we had visited before. Bafok's Lair, is that where we were?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. In Bafok's Lair. But they didn't exactly help us lift the siege either.
They
So the
certainly
siege
didn't live
is
up
now
to their 100-man hype.
Yeah, I think they accounted for a gross of like 6 defeated soldiers.
Yeah.
Actually,
And
they
that
have-
one dude.
They have to defeat like 2 or 3 troops.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
mean,
know, man, but
I'm being facetious. Yeah.
There's a difference between defeating 100 people one at a time and 100 people all at once.
Well, a lot of
In
groups
defense.
of people could defeat 100 people one at a time.
Yeah.
We could do that.
We'll have them walk in the room. We'll all attack him at once. I'd basically be sitting over by Zuzu, but
Yeah, you guys would be in your own wagon, I would assume,
Yeah.
with the bodies of Xantham and Savrik, and I doubt you would be really mingling with anyone outside your party, really, unless you want to.
Mhm.
I mean,
I look at
Ovu might be there.
yeah, for Savrik, the bromance.
Yeah. I need my bros, bro.
Yeah.
Gotta keep my peeps.
He's like all loopy and shit. He wakes up. He's like, hug me. So I basically would look at Elithus and go, I think now might be the time for one of those potions.
I take the potion of serious wounds that Kira gave me and hand it to him to give to his sister.
All right. That's.
I am tending to Savrik with and Xantham at this simultaneously with the. I will do a heal check since I don't have spells to cast at this point.
Na.
Give me a sec.
3d8 plus 6. Okay, so yeah, I remember we're using my level for the. So 3d8 plus 6.
It'd be the level of the person who created, I mean, whatever level they created the potion at. Elithus should have record of what level that potion is.
Kira gave it to me from his cloak. I thought.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then
the
yes.
cloak that we were using that for the pit, so I
Not
figured
his
now
cloak, his
robe.
robe.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
So 24 health I give Zoo.
Yay!
Okay,
conscious?
I believe that makes her conscious. Yes.
Would that
But-
do anything for the whole neck
but-
problem?
Barely.
This is my zoo heal check.
Okay.
This is
Nice.
my Savrik heal check.
Wah wah.
Doesn't know damn fear,
Physiology, yeah.
physiology.
Okay, so with Xantham, Kirik, you very gingerly pour the potion into your sister's mouth.
Does it bubble out from her sliced throat? Like he has to compress her
No.
throat?
it feels it.
Actually, I think yes. I think that Kirik has to kind of like hold
Yes.
her neck closed while he
Don't
pours
make
this
me
down.
Don't make me
No,
roll a heal
you're
check.
fine.
I rolled
I'm a
a six so that
monster!
I am helping you administer the potion because you are bad at things like that.
That'd be too great. Okay. So yeah, you pour the potion into your sister's mouth, and you have to sort of hold her wound shut because her neck is just like wide open, and it's an absolute miracle that she's alive at all. So yeah, you pour her the potion down her gullet, and after a brief moment, you can see that her wounds start to become shallower and more peach-colored.
Thank God. That would be very difficult to explain to Mom.
Yep. And after a little bit, she comes to.
You can just tell Mom that I was stupid.
I don't think she'd
So buy
accept
it.
that answer.
Are those your first words on waking up? I don't buy that. You just
You're
you
like
just
loopy,
woke
like,
up from it, like literally thinking you were dead. Like the last thing you remember is getting sliced across your throat and falling down to the ground and bleeding out.
Can I gasp? Am I capable of gasping?
Of course.
Or you could remark how heroic it is that you lived through this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I'm
that-
so,
that would
I'm
be a
so
doll thing.
badass. That
That'd
would
be
be.
a doll thing.
That's exactly what I would
That
do.
is very much a cycle thing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would basically probably motion for you to not speak, considering, the gaping hole in your throat just actually closed, so.
You probably
I would-
sound like
I
a
would
pack-a-day
second that.
smoker.
So Xantham,
Like 3 packs a
describe
day.
yourself waking up. Roleplay it.
Oh God. Well, I feel like complete shit feel worse than. Yeah.
Woke up dead.
Just woke up dead. It's like a terrible hangover. Like the moment you wake up and you just barf everywhere.
Ugh.
And
Hey, no,
things are
Xanthem,
spinning.
I gotta say, you seem awfully casual, and your tone of voice seems awfully casual for just having woken up on the verge of death. Like for me, for instance, if I just died, my first words would probably be something like that. I
Okay.
admire your resolve.
But you don't have to do first person if you don't want to. You can just describe what your character is experiencing.
We don't?
No.
Oh.
He's
okay.
like,
You've been
"Damn
playing
it,
this game wrong the
3
entire
Well,
time.
no,
Cycle.
you like
You did
Doll.
an excellent job.
Doll is excellent at voices and all of the first person stuff, so I encourage you to continue.
I just get overly nervous and
I'm sure that's
self-conscious.
not just all.
I know. I was joking. I was trying to get you out of your shell a little bit.
Aww.
Drink some wine.
I gotta keep hydrated.
But no, but really, like, what is your character experiencing? Describe it for us.
Paint us a
Raw.
word picture.
Yeah.
Penis. I heard penis.
You would.
I heard both of your responses.
A penis
Okay.
word picture.
Well, I guess it'd be a slow wake up. I don't think it'd be like an all of a sudden shock. I'd be very, very groggy. Probably.
That like morphine patient waking up.
Right, yeah. Probably trying to speak words, but nothing's really coming out. I'm just mouthing things.
I'd be motioning like at stop.
Right, and I'm like reaching towards my throat area, but I can tell that it's so sensitive that just hovering over it hurts.
Here we go. I like that.
And then I pass back out.
Okay. That was good. So, Elithis, with your heal check, you're pretty confident that the potion has done its job and she's likely to recover, but she still needs quite a bit of care. Savrik, Elithis, your heal check for Savrik, your feeling is that you need somebody who has the ability to cast the negative energy version of Cure Light Wounds, which would be Inflict Moderate or Inflict Light Wounds. Because you don't feel it's within your power to tend to his injuries.
I don't think I can magically tend to them, but I can just keep doing
Yes.
heal checks and doing the normal, like covering with bandages, making sure everything's safe.
Yes, you can attempt to keep him from like getting infections and stuff.
I have a question.
Well, I mean, heal checks, when you do them, like, increase the
Yeah.
amount of healing you get for the 8 hours of rest, and if you do
That's
it
true.
for a long period of time, it adds up, but it's very slow.
What's your question?
So, do I add 24 plus 26, or do I just add 24?
I already took care of it for you. You currently have 5 HP if you're wanting to know meta.
Awesome. So, how'd you calculate that? Because I have no idea.
Well, what's your con score again? Isn't it like 14?
Oh, I have no idea. I'll check. But yeah, sure. Yes. Just to see.
I assumed that you were at like negative 14, because that's what it would be for you to be dead.
Ah.
And then I had him heal on top of that.
Okay. Then
So
that
should be
just
a 10
only Keurig? Or does
Yeah,
it
Keurig poured a potion down your
Right.
throat.
Then what about Elvis?
He doesn't have any healing spells yet today.
So he just rolled a heal. What does heal do? Oh, they just.
He was inspecting your injuries and he's caring for you while you heal up overnight.
Okay. Oh, cool. What a good nurse. Or doctor.
Oh, wrong button. Damn it.
He's
Basically
basically
gonna
the
be my life
combat
for the
surgeon.
The next eight days are just gonna be healing everyone.
More or less. And after a few hours of you guys taking care of your Conrads, I don't know if Cycle helps out or if he just like worriedly paces or he just gets bored and goes and has a smoke.
Well,
Like, you know
aren't we
which one
traveling
of those
back to the
options I'd
rendezvous
probably pick.
point during this night? We're returning to the rendezvous point via caravan at this point, I believe.
Yeah, you guys are traveling overnight.
Okay, so so overnight, have I replenished my extracts at this point?
If you sleep in the wagon, yes.
Okay, so when Elthus is healing them, is that
You're resting, probably.
okay? I'm resting then because
That makes
I
sense.
can't really help without extracts.
True.
I can't at all help without extract.
Well, how long does it take you to brew a potion?
1 minute. Oh, a potion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. Being craft alchemy, I guess. I never looked at the time it took.
I think we'd have to use the crafting calculator, but I'm pretty sure you get an insane bonus on all of that stuff.
Wait, he can craft the serious wound potions now?
He can craft anything he can cast, you know, like make an extract out of. So he's able to create any of those as potions.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Would he be able to, if I gave him my last cure serious wounds from my cloak, be able to keep it as an alchemical like allocation and like learn how to make it?
He could use it for like alchemical allocation allows him to just drink it and not burn the potion.
Yeah.
But he can't
Then
give it.
regurgitate it back.
Yeah, he
but
can't give it
still
to other
use the
people.
potion.
But yeah, you would be able to use any of your extracts to create a potion, but you would have to have the extract available.
I didn't know that.
It's the same as a wizard creating potions. I mean, you just have to have the spell prepared for that day, and then you spend gold, and then you just have it ready forever.
Okay. I can't find the cure light wounds or cure moderate wounds potion. But I have a potion. I just need to. I don't have any extract slots left. I used them all up.
Right. I'm saying for the future.
Okay.
If you guys are traveling and you suspect that you're not going to use your spells for that day.
Gotcha.
So, I'm gonna, while we're going, spend 300 gold and start making more poison.
Yeah, brew potion. You can create a potion of any 3rd level or lower spell that you know and that targets 1 or more creatures or objects. Brewing a potion takes 2 hours if its base price is 250 gold pieces or less.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, brewing a potion takes 1 day for every 1,000 gold in its base price.
So I could do cure light wounds.
Yes.
That'd be it. That's the only thing I can make in 2
I believe
hours.
you create it at twice the speed as part of your class. Don't quote me on that.
Sounds
You might
right.
need to check it, but I think you can make a potion in an hour if you have the extract prepared.
But I don't have the extract prepared. I know it, but I don't.
He's
have it
used all of
prepared.
his extracts for the day, so he
Yeah.
doesn't have anything prepared. So I'm fairly certain that in the wagon you would probably just rest so that you can use all of your extracts.
Yeah.
and-
As soon as I'm up again, I can just make it into an extract in 1 minute and use it immediately
And
on them.
also, like, me tending to their wounds in the wagon makes sense, and then I would probably rest when we arrive at the rendezvous point so that I can get up and start healing again.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that you would
Actually,
be. in
you know
charge of
what? It doesn't
extra
actually say anything about having the spell prepared, which is interesting. I assumed it was similar to crafting a scroll, in that you would need to have the spell prepared in order to create the potion. But it actually just says you can create the potion if you know the spell. I don't see anything in here that requires you to have the spell prepared, which is really unusual.
See. And yeah, you would think I would have to like use the spell on the potion,
Yeah.
like most other potion creation. work.
Maybe they're
Well,
deferring to
The way that alchemy works is that you brew an extract via your knowledge of like
Yeah.
brewing, and so
Right.
it makes sense that you'd be able to brew a potion, and it would be less powerful, and it would take you a little bit longer than an extract, and like you wouldn't be able to like your extracts would be nice
Oh.
and fast, but like you're still
Uh,
like you have the knowledge of how to make a potion of cure light wounds. You just usually
Hey,
do
Doc.
it as an extract.
I
Hey,
think
Duff,
I
just
think I
looked
would
up the-
allow it. Yeah. What's up?
I just looked up crafting poisons, and apparently to craft a poison, all I need to do is beat its fortitude DC, which is 17 or 16, I believe.
Yeah.
Cool.
It just follows
Well,
the
like-
standard crafting guidelines in Pathfinder. have to pay half of the base price of the poison, and it takes
Okay,
a certain
so
amount of time.
150. I just spent 300, so can I roll again and make it a second one?
Oh,
Wouldn't it still
yeah.
take you time?
It still takes you time, yeah. I don't know how long that takes. Crafting calculator.
Although I assume that you could do more than one at a time.
It's
No,
a big
actually,
batch.
it depends on how long it takes to make the one item. If it takes him like,
Really though?
if it takes him several days, which a lot of the alchemy stuff does, then you'll have spent your entire 8-hour period for that day working on that potion.
In any case, I think I'm resting. Anyway. Once they're not in mortal danger.
Right.
Sounds like I can only help Zuzu, I can't help I mean, I can only help Xanthem, I can't help Savrik.
And I don't know if I don't think anybody has any inflict light wounds yet, which brings me to what was going to happen next. You hear a soft knock at the back of your wagon as you're moving along.
Who's there?
And you see the man with the painted face pop up at the back. He doesn't say anything, and he sort of looks at Savrik, and then after awkward silence, he just says, "I think I can help him if you would like."
Who are you?
Well, among the Reisenjäger, they tend to call me Shadow.
Someone should roll a perception to give more detail about him.
The guy with the painted face. Which
Isn't
one?
that the crazy guy?
Oh, yeah, no, I remember you. Yeah. You hissed at me.
The one who kind of
Painted
looks like
face.
Uncle Fester? Yeah. Okay, now that I see a close-up of him.
Gotcha, okay.
He looks a little more Pinhead than his smaller
Yeah, it looks
image
like-
would reveal.
Like prison tattoos or something. I'm gonna I just want to perceive his and get a better idea of what his face painting might mean or anything.
Drink.
Holy
Oh,
shit!
What's up?
Same rules, damn it.
Oh, I need to go get scotch.
Get the
All right.
GM drunk.
All right. Wow, I have to make this really good because you rolled a 20. Okay. So despite the light being low tonight, Cycle, you are just like on point with your like eyeball game, and you're checking out this dude's face, and you can make out very clearly the writing on his face, and you suspect that you might be able to recognize it if you had longer to study it, but it doesn't read like a language that you are proficient with. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like I don't see it and immediately recognize it as one of my 6 languages that
Yeah.
I know.
You're not able to just look at it and read it, but you're pretty confident that if you had time to just like study his face, like strap him down and read his face and compare it to notes, that you could probably figure it out. You recognize it as something you've seen before, but it isn't something that you speak or are fluent with.
Gotcha.
The way it's structured on his face, you think it might be arcane in nature, some kind of magical incantation or prayer.
And a knowledge check. Is this quick enough that I can't do a knowledge check on it?
Oh,
'Cause I
knowledge
don't
checks
wanna
are
step
free,
on-
bro. Do it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because the way you described it so far would indicate that I haven't been able
Yes.
to divine anything from it.
He's
And I'll-
basically saying you won't be able to understand the writing.
but
Like, you
he
don't know
gets a
what it says,
really
but
good
you
look at it,
understand
and
that
like
it's-
and with that knowledge
My-
check, I'll tell you that you're pretty sure these are something you've heard of before. Well, in story you've heard of them before. I haven't actually revealed them to you before, but from previous books that you've read, you're pretty sure this guy has what are called spell scars on his face.
Ooh.
I just want to show you guys what I imagine, how well I'm looking at this guy with a nat 20.
Oh my god. We really need gift keyboard.
God.
Oh jeez.
I'm scarred.
Okay, so what did I perceive about it with my knowledge arcana?
You believe these are called spell scars. Essentially, they function like a scroll, but they're made with tattoo ink, and they're put on the user's body.
Oh shit. Are those spell tattoos you have written across your face?
Why, yes, they are. You have a keen eye.
That is fucking awesome.
You should ask if it's all over his body.
Is you can ask that.
She's
I'm
unconscious.
passed out.
She's unconscious.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Dahl would totally be like, "Do you have those like near your dick?"
So where did you get some work like that done? I'm trying to get some ink on myself.
The Islanders are fond of that practice. You would have to head pretty far to the west.
Alright, man, that sounds good.
I
So
might,
anyway, you said
might be able to
were-
teach you sometime.
I would really love that. I'm trying to get a Cure Light Wounds tramp stamp.
I'm
You
not
think-
not familiar with that.
We'll cover it later. So you
Let's
said
see.
you might be able to help Saverick?
Yes, I I believe I have the negative energy required.
Hmm.
Yes, good job.
And I buy it, I'm assuming.
I'm gonna
I'll let you
also
know.
give me a second. Yeah.
This guy hissed at me. I don't think I'd.
As
Roll
the one tending
anyways.
to his wounds.
Wonderful.
Oh no, I accidentally scrolled out. Fuck. Ah.
Okay, Elithus, you think that his motives towards Saverick are sincere, but he still is very uneasy about you.
I trust him to the point where I don't really pick my head up from tending to Xantham and Saverick, and I'm just still looking at their wounds and making sure that they're dressed and everything. But I don't
He-
raise my head and notice.
He
Per se.
definitely keeps his distance from you. Do you guys allow him into the wagon? He kind of puts his hand on the back of the wagon and starts to move like he's ready to climb in.
But my sense motive, so I haven't detected anything weird.
No, you both of you trust him. You don't think he's being
Okay.
insincere or has any kind of evil plot going on. He's he's moving very slowly and deliberately, kind of like he's tired or weary.
I'm going to turn around and say, yeah, that sounds good, I think, right, guys? I think we should trust him. This guy's got face tattoos. That's fucking awesome. We should totally let him help.
I like your enthusiasm.
Yes,
Is that
just
you
let
saying it,
MS-13
or that guy?
into the back of the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've got no other option other than wait like 6 months for him to come to.
Isn't
I
he probably
I sensed his
Reisenjager?
motive. I
Yeah,
trust
he's
him.
part of the Resident.
Yeah, so we
I
should
am
trust
missing
him.
an ear too, in case anybody
part of your
forgot.
crew. Yeah, we know.
I've bled profusely out the side of my head. The
No,
top half
poor
of my
thing.
earlobe is missing.
Forever.
Top half of your
Yeah.
earlobe?
Yeah, he got his
Yeah.
ear sliced.
So there's like a horizontal gash like running along the side of my head, at like right above, my ear hole.
It's what you get for being a badass and fighting 18 armored soldiers at one time alone.
That's right.
Yeah.
Saverick was surrounded by troops when he was fighting.
Yeah. He's just going
And I
ham
made
on
a-
them.
I made a badass heal check on Depur as well, so
Yeah,
I
you
think
did.
I was kind
Yeah.
of spent at that point.
I think you did a pretty good job.
Although,
Okay.
in fairness, this will help you with Depur since you did basically die for her.
Yes. Well, Saverick isn't aware that he almost died. Like, as far as he's concerned,
I'm unconscious. I'm not concerned with anything.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
nothing.
He's not aware of or concerned
Yeah.
about anything.
That's very true. Okay, so Shadow moves over Savric's body, and you see him roll up his sleeve to expose part of his arm, which also has spell scars written all over it. And you see him take his hand and brush it down a particular line, and he says some incantations, and the text crawls along his arm down to his fingertips, and his hand gets emulsed in shadow, and then he touches Savric.
Oh, that's legit.
And he doesn't roll that because that's
Whoa.
really low. We're gonna fix that. I'm DMing this. He rolled 2 1s on 2d8. You fucking
Wow.
bastard. We're amending
Look,
I
that.
would have just laughed at that
Like-
point. Like, I could
One
tend to
of
his
his
wounds for 8 hours
scratches.
and heal him for more than that, you bitch.
Wait, you nat one'd it?
Yeah, basically.
So he just fucking explode.
Well, no. It's not a d20. They're 2d8.
Yeah.
I
I'm
turn
kidding.
into a full vampire.
Yeah, basically.
He
So
just goes,
Savric,
"Wee!" flies off.
you're gonna be healed for 24.
Okay, so that brings me up to 18 because I was at -6.
Yep. So the shadows crawl over Savric's body and heal up his minor wounds. You guys see that his ear heals, but like not, he doesn't regrow. So the bloody part is flesh colored again, but he's still missing part of his ear.
For what my
That
flesh
was-
color.
That was super cool. Could you teach me that too?
Given enough time, I'm sure we could come to some kind of arrangement.
Nice. You can continue. I'm just interjecting my RP shit.
No, you're doing good. I was waiting for someone else to do something.
I'm waiting to know if I'm conscious yet.
Oh yeah, you're
Um,
definitely conscious. If you're at 18 health, then you're very conscious actually.
I
Okay.
turn
How much health
to
does Zoom have?
Shadow.
11.
Oh, okay.
I turn to Shadow, and I, after watching the magic occur, after tending to his wounds and being generally unsuccessful aside from patching them up with bandages, I thank him. I was like, I appreciate your assistance. I don't think there's anything I could have done that would have saved him,
Yes, that doesn't
at least
surprise me.
as quickly.
So as I become conscious, I like jolt awake because I went down in the heat of combat.
Yep.
Like, and I very forcefully grab Shadow's arm as I do the and then like, instantly heavy breathing and looking around looking for the next person that I need to sink my sword into. And then,
Oh
I see him
my.
doing this, and I try to hold him down as best I can. Not very strong.
I guess you would strength check against that.
You would strength check against that.
He doesn't have a
Don't
sword,
hurt
so.
him now.
Well, I mean, I'm there at his side tending to his wounds when Shadow casts the spell, and all of a sudden he's jolting up, and I would be like, whoa! Slow down there.
He's also.
trying to hold him down.
I'm gonna guess that
Huh?
the fact that he
That's
just
rough.
recovered from certain death is like
Oh, definitely.
maybe that'll affect his strength. He's not gonna immediately be like bench pressing.
yeah,
Well,
I don't
Lifting
lucky,
up
lucky
is
for
up.
me, Savric's strength modifier is not amazingly high.
It's,
Mine
it's
is
not
minus
very
2.
high. Yeah.
Shadow
he-
just kind of shoots you a unhappy glare and says, "You can take your hands off of him now, Leaf Lover."
Oh, shots
I
fired.
turned to Savric and said, "Take it easy. You were pretty seriously injured just a few moments ago." And then I go
Yeah.
back to tending Xantham.
My eyes dart back and forth between everybody in the wagon, very quickly attempting to assess whether or not what he's saying is true.
You're among friends.
Saverick, relax, man. This guy just did some awesome shadow bullshit with his arm and healed you up. What's wrong?
I see that everybody is not a threat. And I sort of sink back down, and my head kind of hits firmly against the bottom, and I close my eyes and take a deep breath, and I ask if Dipur is all right.
Last I knew, she was with the others. She's being tended to. I believe she made it.
You think you did enough?
You healed the shit out of her in battle.
You think you do that?
What?
Justin does.
You healed the shit out of her in battle, man. You saved her. Do you not remember that? You probably hurt your head when you got uppercut into death.
And yeah, I remember that. I sort of reach over to my ear and find it not there. There's a big scar running along the side of my head.
Yes, I'm afraid that will be beyond my ability to repair, Savrik.
Hey, don't worry, Savrik, I say, kind of elbowing him in the arm, inappropriately considering he was just almost dead. Dude, it's okay, man. Chicks love battle scars. Also, I think I've heard they like it when you save their lives in the middle of battle, so you got that on your side, too.
I'll weakly smile at that.
I like that.
I think I need to go to sleep.
You're the new Van Gogh.
Oh my god.
Van Savrik.
Mm-hmm.
Just retire from monster hunting and become an impressionist painter.
The sadness
with
will
that.
never end.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
bloody
hold out,
battlefield.
I'm gonna hold out my lit cigarillo and offer it to you to see if you want to puff for almost having died.
I look at it for a second and then give it a weak shrug, and I take a nice deep puff.
There you go. Attaboy.
You now have mummy rot in your lungs.
So,
That's that
with
dang
that,
kush.
Shadow kind of bows to Savrik and dismisses himself.
Savrik, what was the deal with that guy? Why were you so upset when you saw him?
I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, so you don't have anything against him in particular?
I've never met that man, to be
Oh.
honest.
That's weird.
Well, he saved
wonder
your
what-
life.
I was about to
believe
ask, yeah.
you owe him.
He saved your life, if not your ear.
I'd say so. All I know is that
Go ahead.
he's apparently a brother, so
I'd say so. He just pretty much saved your life. I'm also going to take this time to kind of fill Savrik in on the aftermath of the battle and,
Oh,
and
yeah,
what we
sure.
learned about it afterward. Because he doesn't know any of that.
Correct.
I guess Xantham is like laying beside me. Are we in the same
Yes.
wagon, essentially?
You guys are in your wagon, yes.
I see that she's, kind of down, and I move over to like gently squeeze her shoulder, because I can tell, she's got big old bloody mess around her too.
She's looking better though.
That's true. I'm sure she bled profusely into the bottom of our.
Oh yeah,
True,
her blood is all over the place for sure.
To make you hungry.
It's certainly intriguing.
She bled much more than one would have thought. One would think she would have that much blood in her little body.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
Aw, that's adorable.
No. So cute.
You guys didn't know you had this sweetheart rogue in your party.
Man, you know how
He's
I've
a
been this whole game.
lovebird.
It's a lovebird.
He is a lovebird, it's true.
Unfortunately for Savrik, he's only or unfortunately for Xantham, I should say. He's only attracted to the tieflings, apparently.
That's
I
okay.
happen to
Oh,
be
we don't know that yet.
attracted. Well,
So
still-
far,
I mean,
it's very
it's the
obvious.
reason, Jaeger. You beggars can't be choosers.
I can still shoot an arrow up, or not up his ass. At his ass.
And with that, actually, a short time later, Shadow returns, and he hands Cycle a small stick.
Thanks, bro.
I think you'll find use for this.
Uh.
And then he nods and walks away. You'll actually
Is it a
you'll,
pointed stick?
Spellcraft.
And by that I
you'll
mean
want
a
a
stake.
spellcraft check. Yeah.
Is he going to?
Let me see if that's high enough.
I look at Cycle and be like, I'm trying to tend to these people's wounds. You'll have to figure that out for your own for now until we at least rest. I'm too tired to take a
Well, I
look.
don't even know if I know it's more than a stick yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, he casts a cool spell. You said cool stuff about it, and then he comes back and
It-
gives a stick.
I'm about to find out that it is, but
Meta. Meta, I'm gonna assume it's probably a wand of inflict.
I didn't nat one.
Probably.
Yeah.
So we don't have the damn fear dying again.
I don't know what you rolled. I'm just saying, like, I can't help you look at
Right.
it, so roll a good spellcraft check.
Fair enough.
Potion of fireball. Or wand of fireball. Alright, so I'm gonna heal you.
Oh, where is this on my stuffs? Identify the
Oh my
properties
God.
of a magic item using detect magic. It's 15 plus the item's caster level. I'm gonna
Oh,
guess.
so he actually needs me to cast Detect Magic.
Hmm.
Oh, does he not have detect magic?
I don't have detect magic.
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well,
Huh. Seems like something I should get.
It is a cantrip, so it would probably be
I
pretty.
cast it forever, basically. Like, every time I need it, I just cast it.
Do you not have cantrips as extracts?
In my character sheet?
Yeah, level 0 spells.
No, I don't have a cantrip.
Oh wow, you don't get any cantrips.
No,
Oh,
just 1,
that's-
2, and 3. Yep.
That's crummy. All right, we might have to figure out something to help
Well,
you
I
out
think
with
it
that.
actually, I think it's safe to say that at this point, I would have taught him how to make a Detect Magic spell. Or I would have. Wait, how does me teaching him spell, or do I?
You
just create
can't
potions
because
for
you're a
him?
divine caster and
Yeah.
use arcane.
Well, no, like he has something that I can create spells for him, right?
No, you can only imbue potions that I make
Ah.
with
Yeah,
your spells.
you can help him craft spells
Gotcha.
into potions.
Yeah, but not
well,
teach them to me.
Right.
Can it be safe to say that any of the cantrips that I would keep on my list every day, that he would just have an extra potion of those in case he needed them? Since I would have probably at some point helped
costs
him
money
with
to
it.
make those, unfortunately. There's no way to
Oh.
figure out how to calculate that retroactively. I think what we'll say in the future is if he just has a penalty on his roll without detect magic.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, because you can
And we'll
still.
make you some potions.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Because so far
fine.
what we've been doing is like I cast Detect Magic and then we both spellcraft and knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, up to this point, you guys have always identified it together. Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
think a 16 is quite high enough. I'll tell you with your spellcraft, you're able to determine that it's definitely more than just a stick. It's probably a wand, but you don't know of what.
I hold it out and aiming just kind of off into the sky, experimentally say, "Expecto Patronum." Nothing happens.
I'll help you figure it out in the morning.
I was gonna say, be careful with that because I could translate that as a use magic device roll, and
Okay.
there could be a mishap, and that would be bad.
Okay. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Hey, I don't know what this does. Elvis, can you take a look at this when you get a chance? Actually, hey,
in the morning.
so what's this? Has Shadow left yet? Or is he still there?
He's left. He just nodded and handed it to you.
Okay. Elvis, when you get a chance, I need you to help me figure this out. Either that dude is cool as hell and just gave me a wand, or he's even cooler and just gave me a random stick.
I'm sure you would have liked the random stick. I know that I
Dude.
like magic sticks.
I do like random sticks.
I will help you do it in the morning, but right now I think that these two need my help more.
The second,
fine.
the second part of that paragraph is the important part. If you fail by 9 or less, you can't activate the device. If you fail by 10 or more, you suffer a mishap. Mishap means that magical energy gets released but doesn't do what you wanted it to. But you have a pretty
So
high
I
use
can't-
magic device.
I can't do a use magic device on something I don't know what it does, or I can.
You can. You totally can. That's what I just
Okay.
posted to you, is activate blindly. So basically, it's what you were just trying to do. You just wave it around
Oh, I
and say
see.
shit until you guess correctly.
Okay, I'm totally doing that. But I'm aiming it up in the sky. I'm not completely crazy.
Alright. Well, that's pretty good.
I dumped a shitload into use magic device.
That's a good plan. Wow, okay.
Expecto Patronum, Expelliarmus, Avada Kedavra, Hocus Pocus.
You successfully activate the wand, and you notice that your hand is now covered in a very familiar looking shadow magic.
Ooh. I can't spellcraft that effect. Is that a separate thing?
You could knowledge arcana that. Yeah.
Shit.
That's good enough. You recognize the spell on your hand as inflict minor wounds.
So is it affecting my hand, or is it just you?
You
can
have
see that?
a
It's
charge of
touch.
the touch spell,
I got
so
it. Oh,
you're
okay.
able to touch something or someone and discharge it.
I'm gonna see.
I'm gonna reach out and study
if
my
I
hand.
would. 1 second. Shit.
Take your time.
I would just have to cast spellcraft to see the spell active, right? To identify the spell that's
Knowledge
being cast.
arcana.
But it's the spell that's being cast for the spellcraft work.
It's not cast anymore. Like, it is active. He has the spell in his hand.
I don't have knowledge arcana.
It's okay. I'm gonna look at the shadowy substance in my hand and just kind of look around, and then look over at Sabaric, and I'm gonna slap the magic onto his face.
I was like, what are you doing? It's like, don't slap him. He's injured.
I'm testing it.
It's for science.
Oh my gosh, what are you doing? This better do amazing things. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just
I'll go ahead and roll that for
Roll
you.
this shit.
You heal him for 12.
There you go. Magic slap. Magic slaps.
Okay, with that, before I notice that it seems to regenerate my body, I'm going to attempt to grapple him.
I'm
Oh,
gonna see if I understand. I see that.
Do
whether or
not
that's
shoot me
working.
with a wand of inflict minor wounds.
KO neutral, bitch. KO neutral.
So okay, in all fairness, the spell has touched Saverick and hit him hard in the face before the grappling starts because he was unconscious.
Right.
And this probably would have just woken him up. So the spell is now done.
Well, no. Oh, did he fall back asleep already?
Yeah. He
Yep.
had fallen back
No.
asleep.
Did I
Oh,
fall
I-
back asleep?
You said
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
said
go
you're
to
going
sleep.
back asleep.
He said he was going to go back to sleep, but then he was also smoking a
yeah,
cigar.
and then he
Yeah.
got
So I
slapped in
gave
the
him a
face with a
second.
magical black
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
I don't think that I actually made it to sleep.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at your
Yeah.
runes to see if what Cycle did is helping, and then you do your thing.
Alethus, you're very confident that his cuts and scrapes have healed up more than they had been.
Okay. Well, I just quietly say to myself, "Wow, it's actually working."
Okay,
As
so
I
he
watch
grapples me.
Saverick grapple.
So I'm gonna CMB against his CMB.
No. Well, that's only if you try to control the grapple. He needs to roll
Okay,
to see
I'm
if
not
he even
going to.
grapples
But
you
yeah,
in the
go
first
for it.
place.
Okay.
CMB is what you're looking for.
Combat maneuver bonus. Gotcha.
Yes.
At some point, I will.
So he grabs me and, well, never mind. You're the DM.
Well, if it's over your CMD, then yeah, he grabs you.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I'm gonna scoot
Yeah, my
Zoo
CMD
away
is
from this.
14.
I actually have everyone's character sheets bookmarked. Let me open them all up. Well, bam. Yeah, 14. Yeah, he definitely grapples you. So you are like wrestling now.
Again, I'm going
I'm not
to slide
fighting him at all.
Zoo's-
I'm just,
slide Zoo's cot over.
I'm just grinning
appreciate
ear
it.
to ear and laughing.
I like grab him and kind of throw him up against the side. And like, what the hell are you doing? And then, like,
Savage.
as I do that, I feel that like some of my strength has come back, and like, the same sensation that kind of woke me up. And I'm kind of like taken aback
gonna-
by the whole
Savage,
situation.
calm down.
I'm gonna take the wand and I'm gonna tap it just gently against his ear stub. Are you choking me? Can I speak?
No, I'm not choking you. Kind of like grab
Okay,
the
I'm gonna-
hand you whacked me with.
No,
and-
He's lifted your entire body up against the wall.
that's
by your
fine with
hand.
me. And I'm gonna go. Still didn't fix the ear, but you seem to have more strength than you did before. You couldn't even lift Elithis off you last time he healed you.
Do you still have your butt out?
My what?
Your blunt. Your polypurpose.
Oh,
Your puff puff.
I used it all up, man.
Your spliff.
I used it all up.
That's me asking in meta, because I was gonna like snatch it out of your hand and go sit in
Oh,
the corner with it.
I'd given it to you, so I'd probably just slapped it
Okay.
out of your mouth.
Okay, I let him go and I grabbed that and I put it in his face and this is mine now.
It's cool, bro. Be cool, man. Just be cool.
I
Let the polypurpose flow through you.
No, you don't. I cast create water on whatever's on fire.
Just
you
kidding.
bitch.
No.
Kidding.
Oh shit! I didn't even see that.
There is no fire in my wagon.
No,
Douse
watch.
everything in water.
He slaps the cigar out of your mouth, and you guys wrestle while the wagon burns down around you.
A great
Uh,
end to a campaign indeed, as we all
well,
burned
thanks
to death
to
on the
me.
wagon.
Thanks to me, you
Over
can
a
enjoy
spliff.
that spliff in good health.
I like kind of make a mocking bow at him.
I'm gonna tuck that wand into my
The
belt, I
gentleman
guess,
will bow.
and start rolling another. It's not polypurpose this time. This is just a regular tobacco,
Yeah.
cigarette, whatever you want to call it.
I'm
You have
going to,
you have other
move to the
wands
back
in your
of the
bag,
wagon.
don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I think it's cool to keep them on your hip like a gunslinger.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm doing it.
He just has like 4 sticks attached to his belt. It's like,
Mhm.
what the fuck are those?
He just
You
turns him
look
into like a
like-
grass skirt, but they're all
Just carry around
all
4
twigs.
You look like an indigenous witch doctor.
I don't have that many wands. I hope to one day have that many wands. That'd be the shit.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
until
create
until I make you like roll to figure out which one is the one you're
That's
looking
the other
for.
side of it. Whatever, dude. I'm just gonna have like a use magic device Gatling gun that just like rotates the wands around as I cast. Vroom, 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 vroom.
So I'm curious, could I use wood shape on magical wood?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Turn into a dick butt wand.
Well, and it's not very much wood to work with anyway. They're not very big.
Well, I mean, I can. The smaller, the better. Like,
They are
for
6 to 12 inches long and a 1/4 inch thick.
yeah, but like, if I could turn a wand into a bracelet, then it would be fucking badass. Or like a wand into any other sort of thing that I wanted.
I would say no, but it is possible to create stuff like braces that have a similar
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
functionality
have-
to a wand.
I have a spell, I believe, I think it's a level 4 spell, so I don't have it yet, but I believe I do have a spell that allows me to create magic things, and I'm sure that if you would let me, if I use that spell and wood shape.
Oh,
change.
definitely.
but I don't think I have that yet. But I can't really look right now because I'm making a boot disk.
No.
Make a
I have,
USB drive. Don't make CDs anymore.
Yeah, well, I say a boot disk, but when I say
Oh,
disk,
okay.
I mean disk drive, and it's a flash drive.
Good on you.
That's good, man. I have one of those saved for a rainy day. I have
Yeah,
2 other wands. I have a wand of Ray of Enfeeblement and a wand of Divine Favor.
Oh, those are both good.
Mm-hmm.
well, now you know what your wand does.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I return to helping Xantham. And
I'm
I'm
gonna-
assuming
yeah.
that we reached the rendezvous point and I can go rest now.
Yes.
Okay. I'm resting as soon as the altercation with Saverick is over.
Altercation.
Yeah, I think that's a
That's
good way
how
of
I like
describing
to-
it.
I like to handle my life as a series of altercations.
So I'm guessing that by the time I rest, it would be like midday when I finally wake up.
I think so. Yes.
Okay. And how much do you heal from like just 8 hours of rest?
1 HP per level, I think. Let me verify that. I always forget that. Yeah, it's 1 hit point per level for full 8 hours. So 6 HP for everyone who had damage and slept 8 hours. Unless you were under long-term care from Elithis, and then you get 12.
Yeah. So Zoo and Saverick would get 12 from before I slept.
Cool.
And then I would get 6 because I can't long-term care myself while I sleep.
Yes.
Saverick is definitely going to check on Dapur specifically and the rest of the Reisenjäger in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Upon waking up, I allocate all of my 11 spell slots to Cure Light Wounds.
So let me adjust this because it's a little different than I anticipated. Did you add up your health, Xantham?
Yeah,
Okay.
23 now.
That's pretty good.
Do I add the full night's rest too? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had your 12 if you haven't.
Okay, I did. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you all wake up in your little wagon.
How's Blanchy?
Well, wait. We would have gotten to the rendezvous point, so we probably would have been like in a tent. After we...
Oh, when you
We just
arrived? I was assuming
Oh.
you just arrived.
Okay,
and
so
it's
if we just
like-
arrived, then I'm going to sleep as we arrive,
Okay.
so that I can, rest and get spells from
So
there.
you guys arrive at probably like 4 in the morning. So it's not unreasonable for Elithis to sleep until noon. But the rest of you all hear the hustle and bustle of, early morning at a military camp. People talking about the night before, eating breakfast, training exercises, etc.
I report to the commander. Or whatever his particular rank is.
Yeah, Ekla's technically the battle commander.
Is Ovu just standing there, or is he engaged in the conversation?
He's sort of engaged in conversation, but he
Okay.
definitely seems happy to see you.
So I'll acknowledge him and keep walking since he's busy.
Okay.
I can. Can I see Thar and her sister in there?
I think you catch a glimpse of red hair, yeah.
Okay.
Especially since that's the group you're looking for.
I'm going to knock, quote unquote. I'm not sure how one, does that with a tent, but
You just stand there and go, ahem.
Awkwardly.
Smoothly.
So she moves out of the way for you. And
I
Basically, they
acknowledge her. Go ahead.
basically they ask you if you'd like some time alone. They're both pretty well bandaged up at this point, and they don't need to be here.
I shake my head. Yeah. Are they conscious?
No.
Okay.
So I'd say these two wander off for a bit.
I'm gonna be sappy in here for a little bit.
Savik's
So you guys go
alone
do your things.
in a tent with the two tieflings. We should be worried, but I'm
Ow!
If the
I'm gonna
tent
guard the
is a
door to make
rockin'.
sure nobody fucks. Nobody.
Nobody fucks.
Nobody
I'm
goes.
gonna,
Good
I'm,
point,
I'm gonna
there you
remind
go.
you. I'm gonna remind
been
you, even though my
usurped.
character doesn't know this, that both tieflings are like nearly dead. So
Amen.
That's the best way.
He
I
would
don't know.
he would
Oh,
literally
less combative.
Well,
Corpses.
Savik's
literally fuck
already
them to
dead,
death.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, Savrik's already dead himself, so.
Hey,
not
you
sure
guys
if
awake?
that's,
You guys awake?
Hey,
Because this is about to get weird.
get up. Oh,
Go ahead, already got weird.
Anyway, you
Yeah.
guys go on about your business, and we'll deal with my RP in a little bit.
Okay.
well. Okay, I'll ask Ovu. So there was one of your Rising your brothers by and helped Savrik and gave me this, and I hold up the wand. I say, I was wondering where he is around here.
Who are you referring to?
He had really badass face tattoos.
Oh yes, Shadow. Yes. Yes, brother. You might find him along the tree line there to the east. I think he's hiding out in the tower.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to pan over. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so he's not in that tent there.
No, he shouldn't be. My bad.
Okay, that's fine.
Right.
What's he doing in the tower?
He doesn't socialize with us much, brother.
What's his deal? Is he a mage or a sorcerer or a wizard or what? He did this really cool dark magic yesterday or on the way here that healed Savrik, and he gave me a wand that did something similar. I'm just curious about him. He mentioned the island.
I don't know that any of us know much about him, brother, but he hails from the islands. I don't believe he has any power of his own. He just lots and lots of spell scars.
Thanks for the tip. I'm gonna go check him out.
Sure. He seems mostly harmless, other than his latent racism against people of the Green Faith.
Oh,
He mostly hates druids. Mostly.
well,
wait,
I have
you
a
would hate
friend who's
people
of
of the
the
Green
Green
Faith. Nobody's
Faith,
seen
so-
druids for hundreds of years.
See, dude really holds on to his grudges.
He's
Yeah,
never
it's-
met a druid to be mad at them.
Yeah,
I fucking hate pilgrims.
he's mad at the people of the Green Faith. He doesn't particularly know anything about druids.
Nor does anybody. Which is really annoying for me.
Okay, I'm gonna go see if I
Are
can.
you sure that's not
have some
working to your
words with-
advantage because people don't know how to deal with your shit?
Certainly does help to be ridiculously overpowered, but
Oh, Zuzu's still. All right, so I'm gonna use alchemical
I think
allocation.
at this point Zuzu would be awake. Like she's been healed for a lot.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there. Well, I have 23, so what am I capable of doing? Finding food for myself.
Oh, you're conscious.
Everything.
You're just
Yeah, you're
Conscious,
fine.
able to move around.
you just feel a little sore, really.
Yeah, I mean, you did have a really traumatic event. I mean, there's only so many times you can have your throat slit and not come out of it a little screwed up the next day. So
Yeah.
there's ample role playing room there for you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
awesome.
But if you want to go eat some cream of wheat or something, I mean, you can do that too.
I'm
You're gonna be healed even
sleeping-
further in a
yeah.
second.
I'm sleeping in the wagon, so
I think I'd like to rest more, honestly.
So you just kind of
She heals for
dumbstruck and
7.
wanted to be alone
Um,
and introverted.
So I don't know how
Yeah.
your potion works, but for my spell, Cure Light Wounds, it does 1d8 plus up to
That's
up to 5.
cures serious wounds from the potion that I have that I alchemically allocate to Xantham.
Thank you.
You can only alchemically allocate to yourself.
Oh, you're
Aw.
right. All right,
Good
so
try though.
you want me to re-roll?
If you're just giving her the potion, no, that's fine. You can treat that
No,
as
no.
the roll. Oh,
No, that is I'm keeping if I give the potion away, I can't use it again later
Right.
on
Yeah.
with alchemically allocate.
save it for an emergency
But I
then.
can cast cure light wounds plenty.
Yeah, you can give her an
as
extract.
extract,
Yep.
yeah. So I'm gonna give her 1 extract of cure light wounds. 1d8 plus 1 point per caster level.
Up
So
to
that's plus 5.
6.
Okay, so it's
Up to 5. It maxes at 5.
Oh, it maxes at
plus-
5. Okay.
Maximum plus 5. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's 1d8. So you made a reroll for that.
Nah. You can use that 8 if you want.
I'll use that 8.
Cool. I'll make sure
So
my
plus
parents
14.
know how awesome
Oh,
you
I'm
guys
sorry.
are doing
level
at saving
5,
my
plus
ass.
13. Plus 13 HPs to Zuzu. Xantham.
Cool. Okay.
Let me know when I've woken up, by the way, from my 8 hours of rest, as you guys roleplay this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my way toward the tower,
Okay.
but that's just taken.
And during this time, Kirik very carefully outlines a report with the assistance of Ikla. Because he's, Kirik's a good soldier and he wants to report to home base of what happened here.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Dad probably always told me without information there can be no planning.
Yeah, that sounds like something your family would say. Probably your mother is more the information person, though.
Well, yeah, but like the parents, though, because
Yeah.
she gets the information, he makes the plans.
Yes, but sexism, so.
So Elithis, we'll get to you after Savrik. How about that? I think this is probably around when Savrik's RP would occur in the timeline.
Oh,
Yeah, so Carrick is outlining a report, and that takes a couple hours. So now it's your turn to roleplay with your
okay.
honey buns.
With your virtual honey buns in the tent, all alone, make a combat roll for grapple.
Okay. Yeah. Ow! So I check on Kato's first because I didn't see what happened to her. So how's she looking?
She's got a couple bandages across her chest where it looks like some swords pierced her rib cage. But
Ow.
other than possibly having a pierced lung, she seems like she's surviving.
Okay. Then I look at Dapur and see how she is.
Okay. Actually,
Notice-
I should have made you do a heal check for the other ones. Let's do a heal check for this one.
Okay. Organize. I'll do the first one for. I'm gonna guess that they're probably both enough too.
Yeah, you can figure out what's going on. So Dapur, you can tell that she's in pretty sad shape as well. She's got a couple. She's got a sword mark on her left shoulder, where she took it pretty hard, and she also has a piercing like on her chest near her lower abdomen actually.
Like a belly button piercing.
No, like sword went in like left side and
Ow.
may have clipped some organs.
Not as sexy as what I was thinking,
No.
but So she's laying there unconscious.
Yeah.
Rub her, you know, like head.
I'm glad
You
you
know.
finished that sentence.
Keep it up.
So you're just kind of putting
Yeah.
your fingers through her jet black hair.
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of just like, you know,
No
like
weird horn stuff.
not with everybody on this channel. Maybe I'll just I might describe it to Chris later, but you know.
Darp, you and Tanner can go down to the 5 fun times room.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh.
So I would say that you stay with her for probably about an hour.
Yeah.
And she does come to eventually. She kind of blinks at you, and like through haze in her eyes, it says, "Saverick, is that you?"
Nope, just Chuck tested.
So my name is Buck. And I'm
Oh
here
my
to
god, I did
party.
not expect that at all.
That was the best.
I say to her, yes, don't move. You got pretty beat up out there.
I don't really remember what happened.
I didn't see it, but whenever I turned around to face the monks, I found you down by Aiko. Apparently, I tended to you before I got this, and I turned my head so that she can see the big nasty scar and missing ear.
She sort of half smirks at you and says something about how you and Ovu will surely be closer friends now.
As if we need to be. How do you feel?
She coughs and says, well enough. I'll survive."
It's so awkward doing sexy roleplay.
I know.
Tough crowd.
with
I was like,
with
man,
a
he's
rapt audience.
I don't
Sticking
know.
with it.
I flirted pretty well.
That's true.
I've
Mhm.
flirted pretty awfully,
I've got
but-
both twins on
but
my
quite a
side now.
bit.
Wait, why are you the only one here?
Do I hear
Uh,
that?
Did everyone else make it?
As far as I can see,
Oh,
Thar and her
good.
sister were in here.
Oh, and they wanted you
They
to have
needed a
time.
break.
I see.
Did Kirik hear that?
Something to that effect.
30 from that far away inside a tent. I guess your keen bird ears, you can hear part of the conversation, yeah.
I'll let out a knowing smile.
Kirik, what are your Tengu ears here?
I don't know. I can't find them on my head.
They're taking the Dampier to Boner Town. I don't know. Anyway.
I like how you joke about sexual stuff to hide the fact that your character is currently having a rather sensual, like, feeling, emotional moment.
I know.
Seems like
right?
it's in character.
I agree.
Both of our characters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she said, so that I could have a moment.
Yeah.
Something like that, yes. And as I continued to kind of stroke her hair.
Well, I don't mind the company. And she smiles and kind of moves her head towards your hand.
Okay, that's all I can do about in one sitting. So somebody else do something. I'll
Fair
think of
enough.
something.
Okay, let's go to Cycle approaching the tower.
Whoop.
Can I do a combat maneuver against my feelings to get them under control? grapple with
Just gotta lean
self-doubt.
I don't know what the CMD would be of your emotions.
Infinite. It's
So why are you
10
rolling
plus
it?
my
So you
charisma
can do some-
modifier.
Well, because he has a 5% chance of automatic success.
Hmm.
So it's just like real life then.
Yeah, just like every time
I
I've ever had
completely
to ask
relate.
a girl out. Pretty much.
Or if you get approached by random hookers, apparently.
I find that much easier to reply to.
Huh. Yeah, I guess if the onus is not on you to do the approach, then it's a very different environment for communication.
Yeah. I don't think you feel as awkward about
Yeah.
rejecting an offer as you do about trying to make one. But then again, I don't think a hooker, it's not like she's putting anything on the line really by approaching you.
Yeah, I was talking about that girl that propositioned you at the hotel a while back.
Propositioned me at a hotel?
Yeah, when we played Pathfinder that one night, you had some chick that propositioned you in the lobby. And you're like, I either just made a really good call or a
Oh,
terrible mistake.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if she was propositioning me. I can't remember what the circumstances or what exactly
totally
she
was.
said. But yeah, either. Oh no, the girl that pulled up, and she asked me like where the bar was and like where I could get a drink and shit, and I was just like, oh, it's over there. Oh, there's a cool place. Here's a cool place. Oh yeah, I'm here on business too. ... All right, bye. Like.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway.
No,
You-
not even. It was like as usual. It was like on the way back to my room. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Yeah, only now at the end do you
It's
understand.
always exactly. Okay, I'm gonna knock on. How destroyed is this tower?
Well, when you come up to this northern wall, this quarter of the tower is basically gone. There isn't really any upstairs either. It's really just kind of a half wall where a tower used to be. Fuck you.
That was not intentional.
That's
But
obviously not.
Drinking time.
I just wanted to see what I would see when I kind of up
You find a
around the
secret
corner.
door.
Oh my goodness. So, as
Tastes
you
like rum.
As you come up the hill, there is before you a stonework tower that is probably what remains of it is probably about your height. So it's like 5 or 6 feet tall, and the quarter of the wall nearest you is missing, and it's just kind of like gravel and small stones down there. So really not much of this tower remains, and it's probably been here quite a while, just being rained on and slowly weathered down. You can see Shadow just sort of sitting on the ground with his back up against the wall, and he just seems to be meditating.
Okay. Hey, I'm not interrupting, am I?
Well, actually, I guess he's like muttering too. You can see his lips moving. And he stops and opens his eyes and looks at you and says, "No, not at all. How can I help you?"
Actually, I was thinking that I could pay you back and give you some small token in exchange for this, and I hold up the wand that he gave me. And
I don't think that's necessary, but
I appreciate it, but it's nice to have something that I can use to look after my companion, even though he is pretty much just a meat shield for me. All right.
he sort of
Sorry,
I'm
he
going to roll
cocks an
perception on that just for fuck's sake, because I want that 20.
he cocks an eyebrow at you and kind of smirks.
All right, I'm gonna give him potion of enlarged person
Shit.
and scroll of enlarged person. Actually, I guess I'll give him just the potion And sorry, I'm looking through like my items. I haven't been the best necessarily yet. I'll give him a
Would it
potion
make
of
more
enlarged
sense for you to
person
give
and
him the scroll?
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Give him
scroll
the
makes
what?
more sense because you can alchemically allocate your potion.
fair enough. Yeah.
You also
I'll
don't have
give
to
him the
roll to use
scroll.
a potion.
I'll give him the scroll of enlarged person and I'll just give him that.
Huh.
Say it's not much, but it's just something to pay you back in some way. I don't come across many magic users of our type out in these lands, and especially not with my companions.
Well, I am certainly not of your level of power, but um, he holds up the scroll and says, certainly magical items such as these are rare in these times. So he nods at you and puts it in his robe. Sort of tucks
Yes,
it in his pocket.
I think that us spellcasters need to stick together. After all, we're not like the other folks. We prefer a little more solitude.
Yes and no. I would prefer to be back home, but the war is on, and if one doesn't fight, then one is merely being complacent to the enemy.
Okay, so meta, like the islands are like they're like way off.
Yeah, they're not even on your world map. You don't have a map that extends that far.
Gotcha. But they are part of our nation.
Yes.
Way off
Okay.
to the west, right?
Yep, they're way off to the west. There's an ocean out there, and there's some islands scattered about.
Gotcha. So, are there more of your type, or what type of spellcaster are you, if I might ask?
I am just a man who's very adept at reading magic.
I see. I'm also a man, without being able to cast any spells myself, able to put them into potions and extracts.
So you use nature itself to create your transcendent effects.
I'm not sure that any green lover would agree that I'm using nature as much as converting it to my will.
I did not mean to offend.
I'm curious. Shit. Do I know that he's racist against those of the Green Faith?
Who told you
you
before you
Ovu
left?
told me that. That's
Ovu
right.
would
Okay,
have
I was
told
trying to
you,
remember.
and you noticed that he called Elithis a leaf lover earlier.
Yeah. I'm curious about your disdain for those that practice magic of the natural type. Is that something that's common in the islands? I'm afraid I don't know very much about them. Oh, actually. Local?
Local.
Geography?
Or history.
Shit. Okay, so that was an accurate statement.
Yeah, you don't know a whole lot. That's more than common knowledge, though. You know that there's a handful of island tribes that are all banded together at this point. There's a lot of voodoo and manipulation and like negative energy magics out there. You know that. Well, actually, that's probably about all you know. They are more inclined towards the negative energy side of things. As far as their tradition goes, I mean, obviously there hasn't been any like actual casters for a long time, but there's a long tradition of like the written magics. So people invoke those words, but don't have any power themselves. So they use things like spell scars and scrolls and magic items they can get their hands on.
That's really cool. So, I'm curious, are you able to create these magical items, one of which you've given me, or do you have to come across them in your travels as I do?
Unfortunately, I have to gather them up from my travels. I mean, Lacia still has quite a bit of history to dig through and find such things, but certainly with all the wars throughout time, that has diminished greatly.
Yes, I understand. My friends and I, well, friends, my companions and I, recently returned from Raven Hill. I hope to come across a great magical artifact there. Unfortunately, my plans were uh, screwed up.
Thwarted?
Thwarted. Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, my plans were thwarted by, well, I don't rightly know much about them. Some kind of shadow creatures.
Shadow creatures, you say?
They wore black hoods and were interfering in the planar magic. It seems that there's quite a lot of interference with the planar magics going on these days.
Oh, I don't necessarily know that hoods would make them of the shadow planes. Did they use the shadow planes to transit, to walk?
They did. They used them as sorts of portals that they disappeared through.
Just as meta, they actually, you're recalling incorrectly, they used the plane of fire to escape.
Oh, is that what they did?
Yeah.
How did they get there? Didn't they make like a magical like a black
Yeah,
portal at some
there
point?
was a red portal to the plane of fire, and that's what they
Okay.
went through.
I thought I remember that they also had a black portal, but yeah, I misremembered. Okay, so I amend my statement.
Okay.
Wait, so he said that did they create black portals? Is that what he said?
He questioned you on whether or not they used the plane of shadow to move around.
I didn't notice them use the plane of shadow to move about, but they did cross through the fire plane.
Interesting. That would be the same plane that we suspect is now collapsing. Yes?
Yes, that's what I thought.
That was my thoughts as well. I
Surely
wonder
the
if the two
Ethereans-
could be related.
Surely the Ethereans have something to do with it as well. They were performing some sort of ritual when we went and raided their camp last night.
Yes, I saw. I didn't engage in the battle, but I observed from afar. That all seemed like showmanship to me. I think they were trying to distract people from what was really going on, but I can't imagine any clerics of Iomedae having any sort of command over the plane of fire. This puzzles me.
Yes, my companion Elephas thought the same. Though I thought it was real at the time, I tend to trust his judgment.
Well, as a man from the islands, I've borne witness to all manner of trickery.
I hope to get to the bottom of this before my adventures are over, but I do have some other business I need to attend to first. Business that your companions seem to have in common.
What might
An
that be?
alchemist. An alchemist in the north. My father had gone there to attempt to reason with the man, but he had created an army of monsters around him, and it took my companions and I all of our bumbling strength to defeat just one of the creatures.
I like that, bumbling strength. Oh, yes, the old rivalry.
Old rivalry.
Yes, Joseph has a bit of an issue with Bafuk, who I assume you're talking about. Recently, Bafuk has been gathering up all of the magical creatures in the area that he can find, and as you can imagine, Joseph doesn't take well to competition.
How is that competition for Joseph?
He's unable to capture any of those creatures that Bafuk takes into his lair. He can't sell them, he can't kill them and take their pelts. They are all possible profit that he no longer has access to because Bafuk has taken them for his experiments.
I see. So Bafuk is sitting on a gold mine for your company.
Essentially, yes.
Well, one arrangement we made recently with Bafuk turned out quite well for us in the short term, even though it didn't turn out well for Ergonost?
You didn't make an arrangement with Bafuk, did
Not
you?
Ergonost. No,
Joseph.
I meant
You mean
Joseph.
Joseph.
Oh, Joseph. OnStar
Not
is the place you're
Ergonost.
thinking about.
OnStar, yeah. Even though it didn't turn out well for OnStar, I hope my companions will agree to allow that city to go so that we may so that we may confront Bafuk, for I think he is far more dangerous and sits upon far more potential power, some of which I'm quite interested in. As a fellow magic user, I'm sure you understand.
Yes, I could see how furthering your own abilities would be useful.
Well, it's been a nice chat, but I suppose I should get back to my camp. Saverick is trying to get jiggy with that, fuck, what's her tiefling,
Yeah, Dapur.
and I should probably wingman for him.
I'm not sure you'll have much luck. That's a strong-willed tiefling, if ever there's been one.
Blame the man for trying.
Yeah, I sense that there are dark days ahead, so keep your head held high and tread forward, my friend.
Same to you, and I'm gonna extend my hand to him for a handshake. I hope that our paths will cross again soon.
I sense that they will. And he takes your hand and shakes it.
Okay, and with that, I head back out.
And with that, I take some notes on Shadow, who just developed a personality.
That was well done. That was good improv.
You didn't ever finish your question about the Green Faith, but that's okay.
I was just thinking that.
Please do.
Yeah.
So during that conversation, he will have elaborated to you. Actually, give me a diplomacy roll to see whether or not you pry that out of him. I think that's probably something more private.
Racism is usually pretty fucking open, I feel. A
Uh,
little bit too open.
22 is good.
Listen, I'm not saying that all the Green Faith are bad, okay?
Yeah, right?
I got some friends that are Green Faith.
Jeez.
But, like, you know, they're the good ones.
No, you happen to know that the Islanders just tend to be a little they tend to be a little against people of the Green Faith just because the Islanders use voodoo magics and they tend to take nature and kind of warp it to their own needs. And people of the Green Faith do not like that. They think it's kind of abhorrent and against the natural order of things. So they don't see eye to eye on that. And yeah, I guess that's a good enough explanation, I think. Maybe?
I think that sounds pretty good, yeah.
Okay. Well, since you haven't told me this, I don't know this, but I mean, hearing that meta, I think I can salvage a friendship with Shadow.
Possibly.
He doesn't seem to have anything particularly against you in particular, just kind of the
he's
general.
just seen my magic and therefore assumes that I'm a member of the Green Faith, which is not necessarily true. Because not all druids are Green Faith.
That's true. There are other forms. Whew, all right. Elithus, I believe at this point you awaken. You find Xantham sitting quietly in your wagon.
Okay. Well, I yawn and I wake up and I notice Xantham sitting there, and I ask, it's midday. What are you still doing here?
Oh, just like napping. My throat's still pretty.
I'm looking at her to identify how she's doing health-wise after having her rest and all the magic that was given to her.
You can tell that she's not 100%, but she's still probably feeling the effects of having her throat slit open.
Ballpark as far as like percentages go, she's like what?
I'm
50,
36
60?
out of 60.
50%ish.
If I put it on a scale of 1 to 60.
Holy God, she's got a shit ton of health.
Dude, yeah, I barely have fucking 30. So
She's rolled almost max
recognize-
every time, so.
I recognize that impression of myself as well, and I want to say that's no.
I don't know what you mean. It's almost like I've been reviewing old footage of us playing.
Yeah, almost like you're watching some YouTube videos.
Okay, so she looks about half her normal strength. From what my health checks, what you're saying. Well, before
Yeah.
I prepare any spells for the day, I'm gonna go and see how everyone else is doing. But I ask Xanthem if she cares to join.
Yeah, I'd love to tag along. I might be a little slow. I might not say much because my throat still hurts.
That's fine. If need be, I will try to help you out a little bit more later. But I want to see how the overall health of our group is doing
Yeah.
before I spend
Does
an hour
that mean I
meditating
get a
and
cool
putting all my
scar
spells.
then? After this is all over?
I would demand one.
Yeah.
God
you can get
is
a tattoo
typing.
that says "cut
Blind
here."
is delicious. You made a character called God just to type that.
No,
God.
actually, there is a slash command, slash as, that I learned the other day, and I can type out any character name that I so desire and be that person.
God. I don't know if you're
Wow.
holy enough to be God.
Sex joke.
Oh, I can't do it though. Darn.
Nope, it's a DM only
Ass
thing.
Monkey McGee.
Okay, well, I'm gonna head over here. I see Kirik over here. Talking with the head up peoples. Butts everywhere.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna, like, as I approach, I'm gonna eye up, Kirik and all the other people that were fighting yesterday and see how their healths are doing. See if they look okay.
Do I see him giving me the eye?
Yeah. You recognize Elithus giving the old medic stare over everyone as he, cautiously inspects everyone for injuries that need tended. It seems that these battles have made Elithus less nihilistic than he had been after the death of his brother. Having people to take care of seems to be doing that for him.
Quick, cause more injury. We'll get him into society.
Well, in all fairness, my brother died, and as much as I tried to do something about it, I couldn't do anything. So we chopped off his head and burned
Burned
his
him
body.
into ashes and smoked him.
To be fair, really only Doll smoked him, but
Yeah.
But Elithus allowed
it's what
it.
he would have wanted.
I
It
allowed
is.
it.
It is what Rumar would have wanted. It's true.
What he would have wanted.
So yeah, I'm looking over everyone, seeing how their wounds are doing.
Everyone looks pretty cut up, but you can tell that someone else has taken care of bandaging most of the Reisenjäger and the Lasians.
What about Joseph, who snuck around everywhere and didn't do much?
I think
Shit guy.
meta, we know that he
Because
was
didn't
actually
someone do a
doing some fighting.
perception and no?
He did some fighting. Elithus is the only one that actually witnessed him kind of taking his time. So it would be up to Elithus whether or not to question those actions.
At this
You
point, I'm
should.
not, but I will. But nobody else knows that I know.
I
Nobody
know.
else knows my knowledge. I haven't told anyone,
Right.
so
Damn.
I'm gonna have a word with Joseph.
You
later,
did see him
probably.
doing some fighting, but he definitely kept to the edge of the battle and didn't
Was not as
engage
badass
as
as I
much
expected.
as he could have. Yeah.
So if everyone in this group looks okay, I'm gonna kind of look around for Savrik. Don't know where he is.
Getting down with the ladies.
I'm gonna approach this tent and kind of smack on the door a little bit and say, Savrik, are you in there?
Are you decent?
If I see him, I shoot him kind of a hard glance, and I was like, "We're fine, thanks."
Very well. I go away. I look around for Psycho, but
You see him on the hill coming
Making
back
his
toward
way
you.
into the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I definitely see Cycle. Cool. I approach Cycle as he comes down. I was like, "How are you?"
I'm good, man. I actually was just talking to Shadow.
I give him the medic eye. How are your arrow injuries healing up?
Pretty good. I got him out, and I took some cure light wounds, and I'm feeling and got a good night's sleep, so I'm feeling pretty good. I healed Xanthem up a little bit as well.
I noticed. I might do a little bit more work on her later too, but I appreciate that.
Yay!
Of course.
Such good friends.
How
I don't know why you'd appreciate it. I didn't heal you in that way.
I appreciate
guess.
the lack of work that I'd have to do.
Oh, I can understand that.
I mean, we're friends. You taking away my workload definitely would be something that Lazy Me would like.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about that compassion thing you tried to tell me about before.
Eh. I've given up.
Compass Eon. I don't know.
Compass Eon.
I love that. I love that.
It's called compassion, but I understand that it's
Well-
it's a hard concept. It took me a while to get it too, especially after, well, Brumar.
Oh yeah, Brumar. He was a cool guy.
But I'm glad that this,
Wasn't he
this-
like your brother or something?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was my brother.
ouch.
He was my brother. he
Me and
wasn't
Brumar
Tycho's
were
brother.
friends.
You're
Yeah,
having sex
me and
with
Brumar
demon lady. Shut up.
were smoke buddies.
Yeah, you guys did your high noon and immolate stuff.
I still
Oh,
have a little
yeah.
bit of him if you want to see him.
I shake my head, but I'm like,
Peeping
go ahead
Toms.
and smoke a Brumar joint on my behalf. I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
I'm saving. I got a couple more left, but I'm saving them for special occasions.
That I might join you one of these days.
Yeah. Something interesting. Shadow had some interesting things to say though. And then I relate to you. Basically, what we talked about, in particular, telling you about the Green Faith and what I know of the Islanders' anger and racism toward the Green Faith and their disagreements. But I don't think he actually means anything against you in particular. I think he just thinks you're one of these green people.
Yeah, I know somewhat about the Green Faith, but I don't know a lot about it. Like I kind of know what it is, but I think that he just has the wrong impression of me.
Well, I'm not sure if our adventures are going to take us in contact with these Reisenjäger fellows for much longer, but it could be possible, especially if we go to investigate that alchemist fellow that that almost killed my father. Apparently, Joseph has a beef with the guy. He is sitting on all these future animal pelts. Would be worth quite a lot to the Reisenjäger, I'd imagine.
So apparently, Joseph's motives are for greed and not for power.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, is there? What's the,
It can be.
what's the difference? The two are quite tightly linked in my mind.
Well, it seems that he's more interested in the profit rather than the creature's abilities and/or
Keeping in
Magic.
mind,
What
of
they could mean
course,
for
keeping-
science.
keeping in mind, of course, that this is Shadow's impression,
true.
not
true.
necessarily the truth.
Right.
I understand, but like this is like all I'm aware of. So
My-
I'm just formulating an
Yeah.
opinion of Joseph based on the rumor and hearsay that I'm hearing.
Might be something to keep in mind when we talk to him after
Yeah.
the battle's over.
There's
didn't-
a lot I would like to talk with Joseph about. And
Why?
I explained to Cycle that he. I was like, don't tell the others, but he seemed to hold much weight in battle, something that I wouldn't have expected from him. It's almost as if he wasn't trying.
100 men. I guess it's easy to take 100 men when you're just lurking in the shadows, taking them one at a time like that. That's how I'd do it. That's
Dirty.
pretty much how I did it. So, yeah.
I look at Cycles like, you tend to take out lots of people at once. Or do you not recall that your weapon of choice is explosions of magical fire.
I do. I just, yeah, I try to stay out of harm's way as much as I can. Didn't work out too well in the last bombing run battle, but, you know, I think that's the
Well,
exception rather than the rule.
Well, you took a few arrows, but not as much as I did.
No,
Actually,
I can't,
wait, you
can't
ended up
argue with you
taking
for
more.
that. How are you feeling, by the way?
Uh,
Oh shit.
I'll-
Also, you're totally breaking up.
Yeah,
Well-
your mic's cutting out, man.
Oh shit.
But I think I can see pretty well
Yeah,
how
you
you're
know
doing.
exactly. I am at 27 out of I think 31. I'm doing
On a
okay.
scale of 1 to 31, I'd say you're probably at about 27.
Yep. I might heal myself in a little bit, and I'll definitely heal Santham a little bit more later. But for now, I guess we
That's true.
should group with the others and figure out our next move. I think OnStar might be a lost cause for us. We'll need a larger force to take it back, and I don't think that the army here can do much in that sense. And our time might be better spent attending to Bafuk.
I'm glad to hear you say that. As you know, I don't give a fuck about OnStar, but I do care a lot about avenging my father's attacker.
Yes, his creations unnerve me.
I know, they unnerve me too. Just think about that kind of power.
That's excitement, not unnerving.
Yeah. I know,
He would have
they're
said
exciting for
unnerving,
me
and I would
too.
have noticed.
Yep.
Actually,
You would
one
have heard
second.
excitement.
Notice
One
that
second.
boner.
I will roleplay this appropriately. Well, I'm seeing if I would have heard excitement. Shit.
I guess that wasn't.
It unnerves me that it's not power in my hands.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so I definitely know that
Yeah.
Hmm.
you're excited.
For sure.
But at this
And
point, is that really anything you're not used to hearing from Cycle, though?
I'm not at all surprised, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, at least wait until we deal with the creatures before you go and dissect them for understanding.
Fine.
And then with that, I head off towards Kirik and Ovu and Joseph.
I think while you're having this conversation, actually, we'll jump over to Kirik and let him do some roleplay while you guys are
Okay.
having your discussion.
So we've been more or less gone this entire, like, probably about 14 hours for this fight. And we basically just got back.
It's a little bit after noon at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been over a day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Alright.
we arrived back at the camp at like 4 a.m. and then I slept, and then I just woke up and attended to everyone and talked with Cycle, and it's about noon.
I basically explained to him that the original ambush plan was actually a great success. I mean, we managed to destroy both of their trebuchets, or at least cripple them until further notice. But I explained the ritual they were causing and how I believe it wasn't real, but it was probably a distraction to something else. I also explained that we have incurred some rather not so much as unacceptable as few more losses than we would have cared to from that ambush, but we
Yeah,
didn't expect them to come in such force.
He definitely nods at that and looks over. You can see him kind of look over past you down to the road where all the forces are gathered, and you can see that he's sort of counting with his eyes. There's definitely a lot of men missing.
There's a lot more of theirs, I can assure you, but that doesn't mean that we've completely crippled their
Yeah.
force. The ambush plan was actually a pretty good success, other than the actual losses themselves. We got a good look at the people they had, and we got a good look at their commanders, and we also found out that someone, I'm sure you've already been given news, but OnStar has been infiltrated, as it were.
Yes, we heard. We wondered if something like that wouldn't happen with the chapel being there and worshippers of Iomedae, and then the propaganda that's been popping up. We were very aware that it was a possibility.
Then I'm sure you were aware of what was happening with the sky last night.
Yes. Is there a man in Lacia who wasn't?
Well, who knows? Maybe the blind.
Even the blind can feel earthquakes, my friend.
True. Well, I'm not exactly a magic person. I couldn't exactly tell you how that works or what
Uh,
was happening.
I'm sure the Magi are working on it now. All I can do is report back to Sylvanast.
Well, I'll help you write up the battle report, and we can send it on its way.
That would be good.
And I guess we'll just use my roll for that.
Yeah. And are you gonna like opt to have the rest of your party members write reports? Or are you just writing on everyone's behalf?
Well, I could write on everyone's behalf if we want to keep that roll, because I have I actually put a lot of points into Soldier. I think I have 3 now.
Which isn't a bad investment because you can use it for all kinds of stuff.
Where the hell did I put? No, there it is. Yeah, I have 3 points into it. So, like,
I think it's safe
I
to
mean-
say that me and Psycho would probably never write up reports.
yeah.
I
I mean, I
I'm
come
not-
from the familial like
Cycle
background
would
of
do it if
military,
only
so-
for the money.
Yeah,
I
guess
would do
so.
it for the money.
But
I
he
mean,
would
we could
probably
use
just take a
my
10 every single time. So
we could use my
Mhm.
roll to like determine your reports. Unless you want me to
Well,
re-roll.
no. See, if you're just writing the report on everyone's behalf, then you're gonna get gold, and then you're gonna have to split it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically we are all soldiers. We could write our own reports. Doesn't have to be great, I'd imagine, but I think
My report would
I think-
be I died and I came back to life. Thanks to
you
my
killed
friends.
quite a few. By the way, I would immediately commend you in front of the commander for the fact that you basically
yeah.
blew a frickin' trebuchet up with your bow,
Thank you, thank you.
like split the beams and everything, and then put a few holes through multiple people.
Yes.
Yeah, we burned that motherfucker down.
Mm-hmm.
It was. I mean, I'll explain to the commander. It's like the plan, while on paper seemed pretty amazing, was even greater to see in person.
In action, yes.
Worked better than we could have hoped, really.
They will be
I'm gonna
sing-
try to throw my voice. Oh yeah, it kind of seems like the guy that came up with that plan should get a bonus.
I don't even know what to do with that.
Roll throw voice.
I
that
guess
maneuver?
Bluff.
that would actually be bluff, or
Ah, yes, my trusted lieutenant, Mr. High Pitch McVoice.
I don't know if he buys that. Let's find out.
I'm perfectly okay at failing these things as well.
What's it gonna do? Piss him off? Who doesn't want
I
money?
think that he believes that that was not you, but that doesn't mean it convinces you to do it.
Okay.
Okay. Let me remember. Okay. So he like listens to Keurig tell this story, and he kind of remarks how they'll have to tell the bards in Phoenicia to sing tales of this battle.
Wasn't one of the men in this group a bard? Isn't that guy a bard?
Nope. He's just
Just a
He
drunk.
drinks like a
he's
bard.
just a drunk dude.
Hey, he drinks like a bard. You could have fooled me. Well, what plan of action do you recommend?
Well, at this point, we need to report to Sylvanost as quick as we can. Unfortunately, our injuries slowed us down, and we needed to stop here and collect ourselves. But we'll send out ravens within the hour. Once you have all the messages you'd like to send to Sylvanost, we should hear a status update from the general pretty soon after that, or possibly even before we send off our message.
This certainly hasn't been a fantastic operation. We learned a bit, but beyond
No.
that, we certainly.
I do know, last I had heard, most of the military had been diverted to Myrefall to board naval ships.
Marfall, where's that?
Oh, you're asking him?
Yeah.
It's south of the capital of Lacia. You could knowledge local if you wanted to know more specifically about it. Or he could just tell you, I guess. If you're questioning him about Mirefall specifically, you just asked him where it was. So
That was to the west.
it's to the south of the capital of Lacia, sir.
Ah.
It is where the military has its port.
I take it a naval assault on Etheria is in the future.
Well, Etheria has its own navy, but last I knew, and I'll need a status update from the general to confirm this, but the idea that had been thrown around was getting military back up to Aemdrian, which is one of the cities on the eastern cliffs of the Whispering Cliffs.
Probably would be best. They will be heading south after they go through Onstar.
Well, it'll be to assist with the exporting of all the books from Thorold that we're attempting to get out of there before they burn the libraries. And it's presumed that some of the cities along the border will be bolstered with Etherian forces that may cross over now that they control Onstar. That would allow them to control the entire Eastern Road.
That is not good.
No, not really. And to make matters worse, some of those eastern cities near the border, Onstar included, have some Etherian influence in their culture and their worshipping. Certainly
Too bad we don't
Onstar.
have.
Onstar was probably the heaviest one since they had a chapel there.
So our immediate plans is report back to Sylvanas as fast as possible.
That is my current course of action, yes. I don't know what else we can do here unless you'd like to march on Thorold in our current condition, which I don't recommend.
No, breaking a siege on another main city probably wouldn't be good with roughly half the forces we had coming in.
Well,
one
Thorold
of
is
the
not
smaller-
under siege. Thorold is occupied.
I thought there was still a section of the city that was not.
There is a section of the city being held by a group calling themselves the Silver Hand. But they wouldn't say they're under siege necessarily. More, they
Oh.
are hiding out and keeping control of the city out of the Etherian hands because they're using guerrilla tactics and attacking people in the streets.
Whatever works.
It's worked so far, but I'm not sure how much longer they'll be able to hold out. Historically,
they can,
Thorold
sure.
has fallen to every single war in Elysian history.
It's an unfortunate city.
Yes, it's a wonder they're all pacifists.
Guess you get tired of fighting after a while.
Yeah, maybe so. And I suppose if you don't take up arms against the enemy, you're more likely to live.
Yeah, right. Not in this one.
Yeah, this definitely seems like more of a purge, doesn't it?
Certainly does. I think the most unfortunate thing right now is the loss of knowledge that they're causing.
It wouldn't be the first time. Nethys help us.
Is it like the Dark Ages then?
Yeah, it seems like that's what they're moving around, basically.
That's essentially what you're in the middle of. I mean, if you think about it, because there's so few magic users and magic items are so rare, and any documentation of it is so rare because Etheria keeps invading and burning everything.
Right, okay.
Like every time we build up knowledge, they just come and try to burn it down.
Yep.
I succeed.
Yeah, and have mostly succeeded.
Yeah.
Well, I think the only thing we can do now is rest, guard ourselves, and hope they don't come after us. I doubt they will, considering their losses, but you never know.
I doubt they will as well. Most of their forces are likely in Thorold. This was likely a small incursion to Onstar. They were probably counting on having people on the inside to let them in. As you may have noticed, they didn't have a very large number of people sieging the city on the north side, and I can't imagine there were many more on the west, according to my scouts.
I'd imagine that most of their forces were based around defending the camp to begin with. There were quite a few people in there the people who were probably on the western side were probably just probably maybe a lookout to see if anyone was trying to escape.
That
Make
would
sure
be
there were
my
no
guess.
messages coming out.
It's
You could
certainly
probably
not.
say probably more often.
It's not nearly the amount of military strength we would expect to see from Etheria.
If we had the same military strength we had going in, we could probably take that city ourselves, considering their losses in the past battle. But
Well,
at this point, we're probably going to have to.
now the public conscience there is probably shifted now. I don't think we would have much success taking over this city.
Possibly. Maybe we'd have to put on a show like they did.
At best, we could get some refugees out.
Psst, I can summon a fire elemental next level. We don't need to put on a show.
Actually, that'll be interesting with the way the story is going. Trying to summon a fire elemental.
Well, it doesn't have to be a fire elemental.
Right. You would probably have better luck with other elementals. I'll let you know that.
Yeah, being that I'm friends with her, I'd probably summon water elves. Just throwing that out
Hey,
there.
Mafuri, I got a buddy that's like super duper powerful who wants a job.
Hey, Mavura, you want a boyfriend?
I can summon you a boyfriend for a few rounds.
He won't last
You
very
can have a
long.
boyfriend
But
for
it,
1 minute.
Oh no, no.
Well, I
I'm
mean, I could go summoning the same one. So it's like,
I'm really ashamed of that joke. Actually, let's just forget that I ever said that.
okay, okay. So at this point, would me and Cycle have come up to this?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Cool.
And Morky.
He throws
I
poop.
I pet Monkey as he climbs up onto my shoulder, hopefully.
He throws poop into the fire as he climbs up on your shoulder.
I create a little bit of water around his hands to wash them off.
That's great.
After he throws his poop.
Like a little spray out of his
Damn
finger,
it,
like.
God.
I explained to Kirik that I'll heal Santham up a little bit more this evening. I just haven't had time to prepare any spells for the day yet. I seem to have slept through most of it. But glad to see everyone seems better as far as our wounds go.
Yeah, the wounded have all survived. Can't say the same for everyone we left on the battlefield.
No, but that is unfortunately the price of battle.
Yes.
Life and death in balance. In any case, I don't think that we'll be doing much more here. I'm sure that you'll be retreating to what was the nearest city? Ergonost?
We will regroup at Ergonost and organize a battalion to journey to Thorold.
Excellent. And I assume that you've sent word to Sylvanost by now?
We were about to send ravens. Why? Do you have a report you'd like to add?
Nothing that I'm sure Kirik hasn't thought of. But I do believe that it is time for our group to attend to the matters of the monsters to the northwest.
Well, I could see if there are any men to spare, but I doubt it. We're going to be trying to get people out of Onstar who will surely be killed or held captive for not worshipping the goddess. The rest of us will probably head to Thorold and attempt to help the Silver Hand. I think they're still intending to blow the bridge there, and we may need to blow the bridge east of Onstar as well now, which will totally cut off Tarsus, Sanrist, and Emdrian from the rest of the country, and will even more need the naval support.
Yes, I understand. Any men that you would be able to spare to assist us with Bafix Lair might be appreciated, but I believe that our group has many discussions with the Reisenjäger before we set forth our plan in action. Would you be willing to stick around as we decide our next course of action in the event that we do need some men or assistance?
We can wait until the morning, but I doubt I'll be able to commit any men to your cause. It's
Very
not.
well.
It's not my call.
In that case, if you would just hold your ravens in the event that I need to request men from Ergonost.
Very good. When the sun is at a quarter till dawn, or a
and
quarter till
with that,
dusk,
I
we will
would-
send our ravens.
Walk over to Joseph and say, I believe. So wait, what?
What?
You cut out. Am I cutting out?
You cut out.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I might have cut out.
You said, I believe, as
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said. Walker?
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Kind
pretty
of.
much.
Kind of. Okay. I
Just
don't know
go for
what's going on. Yeah, so with that, I would have come over to Joseph and said, I believe we have much to discuss regarding Bafok and his den of monsters.
Okay, I'm sorry. I missed that because I was reading the chat over here.
Okay, I would have come over to Joseph and said, I believe we have much to discuss regarding Bafok and his lair of monsters.
Yes, I suppose we do.
And I think we would step away from whatever his name is. I can never seem to remember it.
Echo? Or Ekla?
No, Ichla. I would motion for like our
That's
Like-
Joseph.
yeah. We would have stepped away from Ikla, who's the commander of the Lasians.
Yep.
I would motion for my friends to follow me, since they would be involved with this too.
I guess we would. We're pretty much done here.
So, I believe you gentlemen and lady owed me some information regarding this alchemist.
I'm sure our agreement was that there would be an exchange of information.
Yes. In particular, I was wondering if you would elaborate on your interest in this alchemist.
Let's just say that he has caused me unwelcome competition in my business ventures.
He's hit you in the wallet, I see. Or I would say, I guess coin purse.
Wallet's valid as well, but coin purse
Okay.
is probably more relatable.
He means you're nuts.
No. Yes,
No,
that
that's his jewel
area,
purse.
that area of the country has been fairly well picked clean. It's amazing to me that you found a Hydra at all.
Yes, well,
Well-
frankly, his activity is not pleasant to me. Nor do I
I'd
find.
imagine anyone looking from the outside would be a little disturbed as to what we found there, Helithus.
I don't think the leader of the monster hunters would care about the monsters, but he just cares about the profit.
No, as long as he keeps his monsters out of our territory, I could care less.
Well, as you seem to be hindered by his operations, at least financially speaking, and since unfortunately we were not able to lift the siege of OnStar, perhaps you would be willing to assist us in putting an end to Bafok's experimentation, as it were.
Seems like it would be a beneficial arrangement for both.
Interesting. That is quite a proposal. And you would give us free reign over that territory and not attempt to prosecute us for any
Can
damage we might cause.
Are you purposely
I
going
think-
to try to cause damage?
Regardless of whether he purposely tries to cause damage or not, I think he's asking a bit much. We've been quite lenient so far.
well,
We've been quite generous so far, especially considering his
I would agree
behavior
with
during the
that.
battle.
You
Well,
aren't
it's
aware
to
of his
say-
behavior during the battle.
I shared.
I am.
I
Oh,
shared it with
yeah.
Psycho just a few minutes ago.
Okay. My mistake.
I only hinted at it. I didn't
Fair enough.
state it outright.
well, Joseph, I'd imagine that your business, fighting monsters and the like, and bringing them to bear is a dangerous and sometimes destructive business. Obviously, any wanton destruction of property, I'm sure they actually would come after you for. But
I
collateral
guess
damage is always acceptable in the field of your
I
profession.
guess what I am trying to tell you is that it is possible we may capture some of his beasts. And some of them might, accidentally of course, find their way into cities and villages that would need monster hunters to save them.
Sounds very suspicious. Gonna
Try
roll
not to
sense
cackle
motive.
too loud.
How is that suspicious? He
Well, it
basically said he
sounds-
was.
Sounds
want
like he's
the-
purposely gonna let the monsters into the town so he just gets.
That's
saved.
exactly what
He
he's
stated
saying.
that
He
outright.
Yes.
said that outright.
Oh,
Which,
I-
as the lawful person, would bother you immensely.
it
You
does
would
bother
really
me immensely. Wait, do I roll
Um,
some? Do I have to roll something to?
don't have to
No.
roll something to
I
disagree
would-
with that.
Yeah, I don't think you would have to roll sense motive to understand
Considering he was
what he just
immensely
said.
hinting at
His
it, yeah.
motive is, fairly
Money.
plain.
So this is how you generate your profit, then.
It's a method that I had considered.
Do you ever think of the people that get injured and do you just how do you live with that guilt?
Very wealthily, I'd imagine.
He doesn't seem to care as much, but
How do they live with the
Graphics.
guilt of ostracizing
Yeah.
everyone born without normal flesh?
That doesn't mean you should do the same
I'm
wrong.
gonna look at Joseph and go, hello? you're looking at one.
No, my friend, you do not have horns. You were not the son of a fiend or the daughter of a fiend. You were not banished from your homeland just because of your lineage.
Have you ever heard of two wrongs don't make a right?
I can't say that I have.
Can't you be a better person? Better.
I
Listen.
hold my hand up to Zeus,
Mhm.
Xantham and explain.
Spare
don't
me
think
the
this
ethics
line-
lesson.
I don't think this line of reasoning is going to sway him. However, and I turn to Joseph, Bafik is taking the magical creatures and converting them into monsters. This is unnatural and will continue if he's not stopped. You're asking to occasionally release a monster, which is something that we would not be able to stop you from doing even if Bafik was allowed to continue. I see no reason to not let you have your way with his lands, as it is the lesser.
I give a rough look at Elthis and I say, we've already been quite lenient and generous in our dealings with Joseph. I think that there's clearly a way that he could set up appearances of a monster without releasing one into a village of live people. Not that it matters much to me what happens, but I do agree in a method of fairness. And we did hire you to help us break the siege on a city which is now taken.
A fair
Your
point.
coffers will be swelling with all the work you'll have unless Etheria takes over here. Just by the fact that you'll have all this
Twice as
land,
much land.
just for the fact that you'd have twice as much land, do you really think that you need complete sovereignty to murder as much as you'd like to?
And who wouldn't come to
Wow.
the royal hero monster hunters of Valencia every time? a
Who
monster
said
comes around?
anything about murder?
I would argue that releasing you haven't seen the creatures that we've seen. releasing one into a village or a town is murder. I'm confident you'll change your mind about that strategy.
I would entirely agree with that, Joseph.
I third
Considering
agree.
one with no legs took all 4 of us out in combat.
And suddenly, inspired by his allies, Cycle becomes chaotic good.
Not chaotic good, but there is a sense of fairness, and I dislike Joseph not because of his morality, but because he's trying to do one over on us in a deal. For me, it's more of a pride deal
I see.
than it is about morality.
Cycle
I don't
wants
give
the
a
upper
fuck.
hand, which is
Yeah, I want the upper hand. I don't give a shit
he feigns
about
he feigns good when
killing
he
people.
needs
It
to.
is true, though. I mean,
Well, Alchemist, what if I made you this deal? We could make you arbiter of all of the monsters, and we would send you requests when the time is appropriate to release a monster at a particular time and place, and give you the details of the show that we will put on to earn money.
I think we could come to an arrangement of that sort as long as you're willing to give me a cut of your proceeds.
Is that humane for the monster?
No, but they're not
I
human.
give Zoo an eye. Humane. You remember these things, don't
The
you?
only thing humane for those monsters is cutting their heads off.
Right.
I don't
but what
say
I
that
mean,
as
but
Saverick,
quick
because
and
Saverick's still
swift.
getting it on. But
when I tell you it's business time.
Only 2 minutes.
So, I guess
You see my so.
Go ahead.
I just want to elaborate on your offer. You see my interest perk up considerably as I tell you that I would be amenable to some operation of that sort. But I would still caution that you may change your mind about the possibility of an arrangement of that sort when you see the monsters in the flesh.
Or whatever they have.
Yeah, whatever. Carapace.
Clay skin or something. It was hard to explain. I had no idea.
I like where this is going. We could have a central location where we keep all of the monsters, and then we would write you and let you know when we will be releasing one and why, and what the scene would look like for our showmanship.
Well, what I'd explain is like, why use those when if you just had a steady supply of natural monsters, you could just use them. Natural monsters that are dangerous yet placatable, easily placated.
I enjoy
When
the
you
idea
have-
of a monster that no one has seen before.
If there is an occasion in which you are suffering from enough of a slump in your business that you have time to orchestrate a performance of this nature, I'm sure my friends and I would be willing to take steps to set up a menagerie of the sort that would allow us to do so in such a way that no one's getting harmed. And in that case, your reputation as a savior and protector of this realm would increase even more.
I'm intrigued.
Does that satisfy you, Xanthem?
Yeah. I do like that plan.
Really? Even though it
There
would
we are.
be fairly unlawful? You're basically swindling people.
Well, it's either that or he releases people and they die.
You're right.
Right.
It's an ethical dilemma.
Unregulated
Or-
would be.
Or he doesn't help us, and we have to try to take on a monster hoarder who could sweep over the surrounding landscape and
Yep.
villages and destroy them utterly.
Right. Yeah.
Lesser
So-
of two evils.
So as
Unless they're
the
like 7.
as the lawful character, you have an ethical dilemma here. Do you agree to something you know is unethical and wrong in order to gain an advantage against an enemy, or do you stick to your code of ethics and just don't get help from the Reisenjäger in order to,
But
or
the
at
thing
least
is-
from the people that Joseph commands. I mean, maybe you could convince somebody who's in the Reisenjäger to go against Joseph's ideologue and do something else.
Oh,
That's
that would be that tattoo guy, huh?
I can't speak to
Or
that.
Saverick.
Or Saverick?
I'm just giving you ideas as a lawful character.
Oh. Well, I hate all the plans, guys. It sucks. It's terrible. And you know why it's terrible? Because no one wins.
Well, there is such a thing as the lesser of two evils, and let's be honest here: the fact that we'd have a, you know, planned out, regulated flow of these things instead of a all-out outbreak of what he currently has capable everywhere, unregulated, unknowing of where they're
I-
going to strike or how many are coming.
I
It'd be
noticed-
easier to.
How are we gonna make sure that he's not gonna lie to us? Are we just taking it by word?
I noticed Anthem's dilemma, and I turned to Joseph, and I asked him, what would you do if all of these monsters happened to die during the taking of Bafok's lair?
I look at Elithis when he says that and go like,
Then clearly I would be very disappointed that I had not obtained the assets that I am looking for.
Why do you want them in the first place? Just for the money?
Profit.
use them to drive in business.
It's like the black market.
You'll find that people's coin purses become very loose when it comes to defending their family from beasts that they do not understand.
You're a horrible man. I mutter this.
Oh, let me see if he hears you. Oh, he hears you. He says, I get that a lot, and he smiles.
Yeah, I would say a man who's a branded criminal already.
No, he was absolved. Remember?
That's right.
Yeah, he was a branded. What I'm saying is he was a branded criminal until we undertook this endeavor. I think he wouldn't be at all surprised. Yep.
Profit comes before anything else to him, obviously.
Profit comes before the fall. That was not in character. That's
Yeah.
Well, as someone who is logical and knows that I would likely not to get any support from the Latians, I require his assistance to stop Bafok. I will do whatever it takes to get Joseph to help us.
Oh my.
Maybe we could bring the drunk.
Joseph, you may not realize this, but just as much as we need your help to defeat
can we
Bafok,
vote
you
on
need
this?
ours.
How about this? Can we get everybody on the
What are we
team and
voting
vote?
on?
Voting for which plan? I mean, is this exclusively between us and then everyone else has to follow? Like
Well,
the Reisenjäger?
Well, I
Well,
think
Zan-
we're voting on the plan now by
Yeah.
only having
Well-
two and arguing with them for ours.
Well,
But
Zan, let's be honest. I mean, like, as far as I know, the last place Kari was seen was that place. Or the last place we know she was taken. If there's even a chance I can get there to find any information out, I'm going. Whether
Do we
we do
even
this
know if
plan
he's
or
gonna
not.
pull his weight though?
Well, that's another issue we can address now, or at least Elithis and I can address.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What are the consequences?
all
I
of,
guess.
all of this debate, and I was like, I turned to Joseph and I was like, if we do agree to the terms and let Cycle arbitrate over these monsters, how do we know that you'll actually pull your weight this time?
What are you implying?
Give me 1 second.
Ah.
I think he's implying that your promise of taking on 100 men in the battle didn't turn out to be quite the method that you chose to employ when the battle was actually happening.
I do not follow. I fought just as hard as any man.
I saw otherwise. If you don't recall, I was up in the air watching everything. You tended to not engage when you could have, and there was a lot more you could have done to save the city. I
Not to mention
was
Lacey and
frankly surprised at your lack of effort, despite the fact that we've gone to great lengths to assist you and give you magical items and agreed to your terms thus far.
Well, I'm an old man. How much harder do you expect me to fight?
Is that gonna
You
be your
command the
excuse?
Ryzen Jaeger, and they all fear you and respect you. I expect you to be a lot better than them.
Hmm.
A backhanded
I'm
compliment.
Why
perhaps
don't you give me a sense motive?
I've been sitting here listening to the whole thing, so I'll do it too. Well,
Ah,
there we go.
Hmm. Can I roll one too?
of course. Damn, guys.
that was a poor showing.
I mean, I
And
only have
Xanthem
3
comes in with the
modifier.
20.
I hope so. I doubt it though.
I'll take a shot of water. It'll be great. Nope.
The shittiest out of all of you.
That's 1, 2.
Huh.
Okay.
Really, though, with our past experience,
But,
well, not so much me, but
Everyone
Arthas and
but
everything. I don't know. I just feel like they wouldn't believe him.
everyone but Xanthem senses that Joseph is deliberately concealing something.
What are you hiding?
What do you mean?
You're not afraid of combat, are you?
Afraid? Never.
Well, from what I've been hearing, you've been making sure you aren't doing much, just staying behind the fight and not particularly engaging. So, what exactly would be your
Oh,
hang
but he
up?
said he's an old man. I mean, he's so
Yeah.
useless. Why do we even have him on the team?
One would imagine that for an
You
old man to
insult my
command the
honor.
Reisenjäger.
You did call yourself old. Just playing it.
I'm gonna point out that you've said that she insulted your honor after you admittedly accepted being a horrible person.
And an old man.
And someone, yeah,
Fine, then
In
he
fact,
said
Philip.
that she insulted his prowess in battle.
I didn't see your prowess in battle. I saw your troops' prowess, but not yours.
I cut down plenty of man.
Barely a scratch on you.
If you are as yeah. I don't know the adjective version of prowess.
Um. Hmm. If you have as much prowess as you
I
claim,
guess if you have as much prowess
I'd rewrite it.
Yeah, if you have as much prowess as you claim, surely there is a reason that your men fear you. But from what I saw, you are as much their equal as any one of these soldiers is equal to another.
My thoughts exactly. Oh, shit.
You might want to reconsider your words, young lady.
Hey, then give me my gloves back.
He's got a blade at
Did
your
you
throat.
read that? He just pulled
I know.
a blade at your throat.
Yes, I see that.
Awfully casual.
Well, my throat's already cut, so I don't know if we could do any worse than that one person.
I jump a step back and pull a bomb out.
I turn into a bear and grapple him to the ground.
Holy fuck. Xanthem, what the shit?
What?
I've got a blade at my throat. I'll totally just insult you and not be scared at all.
I only
my
barely
bow, so
died
can
a
I-
second ago.
You have
Yeah.
a blade at your throat. You can't do anything. You
The
show
blade
up
to the
and
throat
you
holds no
gasp
terror anymore.
and you just sit there and stay silent. That's what you do.
I will say that Kirik would get an attack of opportunity as the blade gets drawn. If you had your weapon out, which I guess you wouldn't. Never mind.
yeah, we were talking.
Yes. Anyways, I turn into a bear at this and grapple him to the ground. It's
I guess we would need to do initiative then.
okay.
Oh,
Do we have
Jesus.
time for this?
I don't apologize for what I say.
Oh, thank
Well
God. Yeah, you act first.
Cool. Well, my CMB as a bear with grapple is plus 13.
Oh my God, this turned. This fucking took a
Took
turn.
a left turn, man.
Oh my lord.
God damn it, Xantham.
It was-
Why did you look at that
Flip
fine yet
sync
rustic
shit.
architecture?
It was supposed to be a dramatic statement, and now it's
could
turned into
tell.
bear wrestling.
This is what you
Not
get for
bear
being a
wrestling.
hothead.
A hothead? You're the one who insulted me.
You
I
told
was
him-
full
Supposedly.
blade,
But he
and
could
I'm
have been the
turning into
better
a bear and
man
grappling
and
into the
not
ground
have
to save
done
you.
anything. He could have just taken it and said,
He's a leader of a monster hunter cult.
"Yeah,
This
I'm
is
just
so
a
great.
cutie
person that
fighting,
wants to
so he does
release
shit."
monsters on things.
Hey, I'm just saying, when I insulted
Is
that
that
guy
Darp
back in the
clapping?
shop kind of as a joke,
You know-
that whole quest line went to shit.
I think
Darp's gonna
because since
play
I
it
died
like it
or
is.
almost died, and I hit a really powerful person, I'm a bit cocky now. Like nothing can touch me. I
You're
just
the only one that could
resurrected.
have
The immovable mare.
a near-death experience and be cocky as hell immediately, like after regaining consciousness.
Which is really kind of odd for your character since you sat around in the wagon being all antisocial for the whole day.
Exactly. I
And
had
then
to
she had-
inwardly
and then she had a
think.
second wind. Then she had a second wind. You know what? Fuck that. No, that's not gonna fuck me up.
Yeah, you.
Exactly.
Elithis, you successfully grapple Joseph.
Now is he?
Whose blade was at her neck, and I'll say that she takes
30-64.
1 point of slashing damage as he falls, as he becomes grappled. You jostle him around, and it scrapes her neck.
Can I stand on top of him, pinning him down? Or is that a different roll?
Grappling doesn't mean you're prone necessarily.
Well, I would turn into a bear and attempt to knock him to the ground.
So-
now.
You would be tripping him, not grappling.
Could I grapple
I would
him to
probably
the
just.
ground?
Yeah, I'd
Or,
grapple him to the ground. You're big and
I'm
I'd imagine it'd be
huge.
harder
I-
to push you off. Yeah. Once you get it. Because I was holding my action until that happened because I had something to say.
Say it. I want to
like
hear it.
so like I understand like it would be a trip, but like I'm trying to argue that like I could as a bear just overpower him to the ground. But like would I need to roll something else? Like a different CMB?
No, CMB would be
Okay.
trip if you're trying to get him down on the ground.
Okay.
So either you can grapple him and just like maintain control while standing, or you can trip him. Which
Well,
is, I mean,
I try to trip him.
let me think what his AC CMD would be.
How do you do the orange text exactly?
/me, just like in WoW.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Neat.
Sever's butt.
7 months.
So I think you successfully trip him then.
Cool. In that case, I'm gonna sit on top of him and roar in his face.
Bare your teeth at him.
I'm actually 1 second. I have to find if as a bear I get any bonus to intimidate.
Hey, look, our team's coming towards us. Surrounding him.
All right, so now he's on the
I don't
ground.
get
Oh,
any
fucking
intimidate.
A.
I don't regret any of my actions, by the way.
Alright, well,
I regret nothing.
Is
there
he on
goes
the
our
ground?
negotiation.
Okay. I don't have any extra intimidate. I'm just gonna roll this. Fuck. God damn it. I
You
hate
can do it.
using my laptop.
All right, can I interject? I'm gonna quickly
That's the roar.
yell out as soon as. Oh.
So
Or
Elithis
aggressive.
starts to roar, and obviously he's not used to his form, and he just sort of coughs a lot.
into his face.
Alright, and now my
Um,
action.
Yeah, your action.
Wait, I beat everyone else's other than you? Okay. Alright. Now I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna attack him, because that would I'm gonna place Night Kiss directly on his throat. I'm gonna say, Joseph, I'll accept a lot of things in a negotiation. I can be leeway. I can give leeway. I can understand your concept of gaining profit. I can understand that a man like yourself wants to increase his fortune. But there's one thing I'm not going to let you do. I'm never going to let you insult my family, and I'm certainly never going to let you threaten my sister. So if you
Oh.
want to sit there and keep doing this, with all of these Lacian soldiers here, witnessing you do this, ruining the kind of relationship that you just worked so hard to maintain, and get absolved of all your crimes just to immediately go right back to the life you were doing before, I suggest you do it now. We'll get this over with, you'll be going to jail, and your band will be dissolved almost immediately. Or you can man up, accept the terms of our agreement and the fact that people won't agree with what you want to do, and we can go on our way, continue your profits, continue your business, and we can win this war. Or we can end it here.
Well said, my brother.
Yeah, that
Wow.
was good. It's pretty much what I was gonna say. If a little more detailed than
I
I
didn't
would
turn
have
If
into
gone.
I
a
cared about
band.
anything.
Yeah.
Well, he's not intimidated by the bear, but he is swayed, I think, by Kirik's words. And he lets go of his sword, because there's a bear on top of him, and he says, very well.
With that, I turn back into a human
Thank you.
or an elf.
I remove the blade and help him out.
And he punches you in the face. No, I'm kidding.
that is my honorable brother.
Punches you and runs away.
I look at Xantham with a stern and very upset look. I was like, "You're an idiot," and then walk away.
I give a shy look and apologetic, but thank you.
I'm gonna walk up to Cycle.
I'm still nervously kind of holding my bomb like, I'm glad you got out of there. I don't know what I was gonna do, but I'm pretty sure I was just gonna bomb the shit out of everybody.
And with that, the group that had taken interest starts to disperse, because there's no longer a bear.
But
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
bear.
shit, a bear. Oh, yeah, that's right. They never saw him turn into something like that before. He turned
Yeah.
into a crow, but
Well,
That's
it's
about-
like they've never seen me turn into anything. They saw me turn from. They might have seen me turn from a crow into a dire bat, and they've seen a dire bat.
Yeah.
But they've never actually
Well,
seen me
and it was kind
transform.
of like one of those things where it's like a schoolyard fight, you know? You see some shit going down, you want to look and find out what's going on.
I think it's a little bit different from a schoolyard fight because one of the
Yeah.
preschoolers turned into a fucking
Bear.
bear.
So,
Not just any bear. Show them my bear token. My
once
bear is awesome.
once like everyone's blood has settled, Joseph says, "Look, I'll level with you. I wasn't engaging as much in the combat because I was trying to observe my people. We suspect that we have a traitor in our midst, and I need to know who."
Did you figure it out?
Why didn't you share this with us when we were back at your place?
Because this is an internal matter and it doesn't concern your group.
Wouldn't you want an
One of your
objective?
members is a member of our group. It concerns us as much as it concerns you.
I would say that this takes away some of your leverage in terms of discussing terms of whether or not you help us and how much we're to compensate you.
Why would you say that?
Making an attack with a group on an alchemist of the level as Bafuk with a group of Reisenjäger on our side is worth one thing. Making an attack on an alchemist like Bafuk with a group that may have a traitor in their midst is quite another.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, that if he was there the other night, he did not show his colors. He or she fought just as hard as any other man, so I do not think that the traitor was among us.
Who was among us last night, and who wasn't?
Well,
Just to be clear,
Everyone
that means that he's saying that the person is back at the castle.
yes.
or out on a mission because
Or
there
out
were
on a
other ones
mission.
that not at the
Yes,
castle. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. but we can basically trust our group. Very well.
It
In that
certainly wouldn't be a surprise if it was that blasted halfling. And he spits on the ground.
What has this person done that leads you to believe he's a traitor? He or she is a traitor.
Claude?
All genders are equal. I believe that either one is
Intriguing.
capable of being a traitor.
Have to explain
Well,
this.
more and more it is seeming likely that Claude is a traitor among us.
For what leads you to say that? What's he done?
I believe
Well-
it started with the colors of Ioma Day that he wears.
There
How
is
he wears it.
there is that, but we've had things go missing as of late, and contracts that have been, shall we say, undermined by Aetherian troops that shouldn't have known we were there in the first place.
Ooh.
Though
And
it is worth
Alderizing
pointing
the-
out that whoever that might have been hadn't forewarned them of our presence here. It's the reason our attack last night went off so well.
That is true. If there was a spy among our midst, they probably could have easily gotten a message to the groups down south.
It would have been nice if
You-
that had occurred to you
You
before we.
meta-ing piece of crap. You're the only one that can see me rolling dice.
I already said sense motive before you even rolled it, Chris.
Y'all a bunch of cheaters.
She even said
No.
your name. That was like the angry like Chris.
Yeah, but she didn't say Christopher, which is when I'm in real trouble.
Oh yeah.
Oh my,
If
I've
she uses
never
your middle
said that to
name, you
him
better
yet,
just
though.
run.
Yep.
Just
Christopher
run.
Cox. That's when you just need to run. Leave the country.
Yep.
Christopher Ray Cox.
Ray, huh?
Anyways.
Oh wait, sorry, you guys don't know that.
Yeah,
I do
well, now YouTube knows that. Good job.
You can
Yeah.
just bleep it out.
Anyway. You sensed motive, but you saw me roll a dice.
I didn't see you. I
So-
thought
Take
in
a
my
pen.
head I was gonna say it, and then you rolled it.
Kirik will
And you can even
remember
go
that.
back and look at your YouTube and hear me say, and then I stopped.
I'll give it to you because I love you, but you're a cheating fuck.
What? No. Thank you.
So,
thought
I
you were,
should
like,
break
refuting
even
the
at
love.
least.
Like what? No.
so
I am a cheating fuck, but you don't love me.
Xanthem thinks that he's being disingenuous
Be right back, guys.
Disingenuous to what?
About the
About-
guy being a spy.
about Claude. Yes.
He basically has no proof, but he just thinks that.
He's racist.
I mean, he just
Disingenuous
spit.
would be dishonest or deceitful.
Okay. Well, do you say anything about that? You're already kind of on edge with him, but if you catch my pun,
Yes, I do. Well, I will nudge Kirk and tell him something seems fishy about what he has to say. I don't fully believe he's
Sorry about that.
honest in all his words.
so I'll turn to Joseph and go.
And you're whispering this right in front of Joseph?
No, I'm whispering Kirk. I'm
Right,
not in
you-
front of him.
You are right in
You're
front
right
of
in
Joseph.
front of him.
Am I right in front of him?
Look at the
the
map.
thing.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna turn to
Literally.
Joseph. I'm just gonna turn
This
to
is
Joseph
right
and
in
be.
front of.
Okay,
Well,
a
no,
square is
5 feet
5
away from
feet.
him.
You're 10 feet away from Joseph,
Fine.
whispering into Kirik's ear, who's literally right next to him.
Lean 5 feet in.
Fine, I make eye motions at Kirk, like, I don't know.
Do I pick up on this? Hang on.
Perception it.
Technically, there's no facing, and my head is full of eyes, so
Birds have side eyeballs.
binocular vision.
Yeah.
Would I pick up the hint? Is what I'm getting at. Would that be a perception or would it be a sense motive? Actually,
I don't know.
technically, she's trying to. I mean, I can see the hand. If I can see the eye motions, I'd have to sense what they're about.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you know.
Well, I mean, do I
But,
see him and then I'll do a separate sense?
But Joseph, well, I don't think you sense motive because she's not like bluffing. I think she just has to tell you later. I don't know
Alright.
that there's any way you can signal with your eyes that you don't believe
I mean,
what
I would have
someone's
just
saying.
turned to him and
Yeah,
basically
you can
said like,
squint and like furrow your
Subtle
brow
head check.
and
Subtle head
do
check.
the thing Bernie
Stealth
Sanders
check.
did last night. If I could like turn and just be like, the fuck?
yeah.
You guys saw that?
There's a lot
Yeah.
of expressions that doesn't have to be said.
Yeah, but he can see him too.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah.
I would have just turned to Joseph and said, do you honestly believe that, or do you just want to believe that? Like, had I known that information.
Hmm.
Plus and minus.
Let's just say that it would make a lot of sense if Claude was the spy. We haven't been able to prove it yet, but every day that I search for the traitor, it becomes more and more clear to me that it is him.
Have you
I'm
just
not
been...
saying you're wrong, but I am saying, don't you think you're giving him credit for being too clever and not clever enough? Do you think a traitor is likely to dress in the garb of the enemy?
I know it seems too obvious.
Actually, hold on, out of game. Am I aware of Saverick talking about how there was someone invisible following us? like, what if it was that person?
He revealed it, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's not particularly something that needs to be kept secret to someone who's also in the same boat as us. Like, if the Kraken's coming up on the boat, you should warn other people on the boat.
Right.
So Kirik brings up the invisible person then?
Yeah, basically, I turned to him and goes, well, recently, Saverick, while we were traveling, noticed that we may have a not so seeable person following us. Maybe not.
Yes, Ovu informed me. It is possible that that is the traitor, though I don't know how we would track or trap such a person.
Well, I'd be led to believe that invisibility is magical. We have people who can detect magic.
He could be here right now.
That's true.
When I
No,
look
that's
around,
entirely true.
panicked,
With your
Well, there's no-
bomb still in hand.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he still does have the bombs. I
holding
should
two
say.
bombs.
Just throw one into a tree, just for fuck's sake.
No, like the
I
1 in
just
100.
throw it
You like roll a
across-
percentile
across
of like
the yard.
2%. You roll a percentile of 2% and hit him, and like he's like in the tree. He's like ah.
Oh my god.
That would be the best.
Okay. With that, I think we'll wrap it up here. Unless you guys have more you'd like to talk to
No,
Joseph
that's-
about.
That sounds
So
fine.
have we made an agreement then? Is that
Tell you what,
I don't think
I'll
so.
before
I'll
we
make a
wrap up,
note
then
of
we'll-
that, and we'll hash out the agreement better next time. After I review the video, because I'm pretty sure I have an idea of what Joseph wants and what you guys want, so we can figure something out next time.
We just want to
Alright.
get the sisters back and win the war.
And save
And
the
get
world.
power.
I have
Save
no
the
kind
sister,
of
save
war.
the
I just
world.
don't want the Ethereum
Right.
to interfere while I look for the Zeroots, so.
Yeah, and I don't
I
want
think-
to destroy all the magical shit because I want to take over everything. Meta.
Yep.
So yeah. So how placated is Joseph after our little talk? Is he a little bit more ready to speak next time?
Maybe. Maybe. Nobody's done any like diplomacy rolls against them though, because everybody sucks at diplomacy. So.
I know what would have happened though. I know what would have happened. I would
I
have been
should be a
like, it would have
bard.
been just like Tim. I say that large, eloquent speech about profit and making sure that his life keeps going the way he wants it to, and then I roll diplomacy and roll a nat fucking 1 and just blow the whole thing, and then I have to stab him in the neck.
Okay, that's
Well-
And then I
okay.
gotta stab him.
Poor Tim.
Tim was over from the get go. He didn't have anything.
Come on, I could have tried, but the fact I rolled a nat 1 after trying to make friends with him was just like, come the fuck
Yeah,
on.
but I'm just saying, like, he wasn't supposed to be a prisoner anyway. That dude was not a door you could open.
Oh, you can open any door, man. This game's all
That
about
dude
choice.
wasn't a door you could open.
I'm
Alright.
very good with my lock picks.
Sometimes to
A
open the front
friendship.
door, you have to open the back door.
Oh
my.
God.
Oh,
And
back
with
door,
that, I will
wow.
end the recording.